by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Worried that other leaders in the world are going to start to doubt that America is back if some of these big things that you say on the world stage keep getting walked back.
What's getting walked back?
It made it sound like, just in the last couple days, it sounded like you told U.S. troops they were going to Ukraine. It sounded like you said it was possible the U.S. would use a chemical weapon, and it sounded like you were calling for regime change in Russia.
We recognize different ages for different purposes. We recognize 18 for the draft. We recognize 16 for driving in some states. We recognize 21 for drinking. So we recognize different ages for different purposes. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Could I have a second to engage that?
Certainly. I'll yield to the gentleman from Kentucky.
Would the chairman join me in co-sponsoring a bill to raise the draft age to 21?
No.
But the chairman feels that their brains aren't fully formed at 18, 19, and 20.
The research does indicate that in certain respects, but the Selective Service needs, I mean, if the country needs people, it needs people.
It needs people whose brains aren't fully formed?
In certain respects, yes.
I yield back.
Hoping that
This equation has four factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to zero. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra. But let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Developing through technology an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't
Back to them, or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
Fuck Joe Biden.
Refuse to go along with this, and I'm seeing through all of your lies, Barack Obama, you wicked, wicked devil!
Welcome back to another night of Stick with Koolfrogg. It's AmericaShirts. How's it going, buddy?
Yo. Oh, my mic's on. Hi.
So I didn't do any research. There's no specific show. This is just, we're all going to sit around and we're going to chew the fat and shoot the shit. For the simple reason that we got screwed last night. The show for about 2 hours, it was funny because it was almost immediately as the show went off air, and I had downloaded everything from Restream. I went over to the YouTube side, and the YouTube had squawked at me and told me that I was flagged for medical misinformation, and it was told me that I wasn't going to have a show for a week. I immediately put in the claim, and it came in within 2 hours, about an hour after I went to bed, because I didn't get to bed until about 5 a.m. By 6 a.m., it had come back and said that my channel was reinstated. By 6 a.m., it had come back and said,
Hey, turn off the radio when you join the call.
Nerd.
Do you know how this works?
I need shirts. What's up, y'all?
What's up, man? So I was just doing opening. So that was pretty much what we're just gonna sit around and we're just gonna talk like we did last night because what's better to do than that?
Yeah.
It seems we have a decent
Well,
cog,
you
we
know,
can actually
there
have
are a lot of
conversations.
better things you could do, like reducing the population.
Oh,
That's
God.
more fun.
What's going on,
Well,
Slade
probably one of these
Raider?
numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's just a fact
Divinity.
of high
How
school
they're in?
algebra. But
How
let's
y'all
take
doing?
a look.
Oh, it's high quality H2O.
Divinity is still sitting over with the expert at the moment. She said that she was going to come into the ponds at some point in time today.
Oh, she put in a chat, said hi.
Yeah.
Is he still caught
I
up
just
with?
said hi to her,
Did he get a new load of people
What do you mean? Do you get a new load of people? What do you?
again today? Oh, she's on the stream. Oh,
Yeah, she's on his stream right now.
Yeah. She was telling her about the crackhead story invading her house.
It was funny.
oh God.
I'm thinking either shoot their asses or call the cops, but
No, right. I
she
mean,
tried to help out. She was a better person than I would be.
Oh, and there's
No,
Heather Ann. Hello.
She even said that the
hello.
Hi,
gun was in the better
Heather.
place.
I mean, I almost shot a guy for walking to my backyard a couple of weeks ago.
No, that's exactly. She's like,
Turned out it was a husband of my mom's coworker coming to help out my dad with something, but my dad wasn't at home. So,
oh, Heather Ann. What's going on? Do you
I have to get these weapons of war off the
There's
streets.
a link that I haven't actually posted here yet that I kind of threw around at a couple different places. That's to actually get into the pond.
is that what you're calling your streams now, the pond?
No, it's something that the expert kind of started. So, we just kind of...
Well, the stream is the stick.
Right,
but the pond
is Koolfrogg, no matter what.
Is the restream, joining call, if you will.
You know what that mother. I did not set out to make my logo look like R2D2, but now I can't unsee it. I cannot unsee it now.
Paul Pelosi's for tomorrow. We'll talk about him tomorrow. There's a couple of good articles and a couple of good things that came out of that idiot.
So do you hear?
Says it would have been funny AF if she would have shot a blow dart.
I
have no idea what that's about.
Not
Heather Ann says, I'll come up for a few, but I need to go to bed.
Oh, sleep is for the weak. Says the guy who's really tired.
What is this? I'm watching the
How's that working out for
that
you?
he's blocked from watching.
Did y'all ever see, talking about blow darts, did y'all ever see Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Oh my God, yes.
Crappy movie, but it did have its moments. Like the part where they're in the cemetery fighting the pygmies, and one of them goes to blow a dart at Mutt, and Indy just pops up and blows the other end and goes straight into his throat, and he just falls over dead.
I like to pretend that movie does not exist like the rest of the Star Wars movies.
Yes. Last Crusade was my favorite. The Last Crusade was my absolute favorite.
We have a special guest I've never had on before here. Ooh, fun.
Hello, Heather Ann. Hey guys, I can't hear you at all. So hold on a second.
Has she been on the experts?
She was in the chat.
Yeah, she's been.
No, I haven't been on the experts. He'll be so mad I'm over here.
Good.
What did they book hit so we can get over it?
Welcome to the pond.
Mute the stream.
You gotta mute your stream and change the setting in your restream to actually hear it over there, so you don't hear a double echo.
Echo.
I know we sound awesome, but we can't. You don't want to hear us more than you have to.
Wow, some of us.
I have a face for radio and a voice for the mute button. Come on.
So, yeah, I figured that would happen at least once. That's normal. That's normal. Don't be discouraged. Come back in here when you're ready.
Yeah, totally.
So did y'all hear Amber Turd is going to appeal?
Yes.
Well, she has to.
She
doesn't have the money to pay for it.
Yeah, she's got till the 27th, I think, to appeal.
Oh, and by the way, thank you for pronouncing her last name correctly.
Yeah.
Unlike some other people,
Amber Turd.
I just can't seem to get it.
Camilla, not Camilla.
Yes, thank you, Slade Raider. It is pronounced Amber Turd.
She will never live that down.
Yes.
Thank
you for your appropriate English
big, lumpy
diction.
Turd with corn.
Who was the head attorney? What was his name? I can never remember. For Johnny Depp. You know the guy I'm talking about, though. Guy who sat beside Johnny the whole time.
I have absolutely no clue. Because I wasn't.
I
watching
didn't pay attention.
They were doing the morning show rounds today.
Oh, his
no
side
reason
was.
to pay attention to either one.
And the interviewer on Good Morning America, the first thing she says, she looks at the camera and says, "My husband has worked with them, so just let you know, in case someone says, oh, you're biased." Oh, fine, just tease us like that, Heather.
Okay. Later, Heather Ann. She says, "I'll do a voice chat tomorrow."
Right. You can
says
try
another
again
one
tomorrow.
says, "Good night, guys."
Enjoy your sleep. Everybody just sleep sometimes.
That's how my folks know I'm alive is if I'm snoring.
Like, yeah, he's alive still.
I go to bed like 3 or 4 hours after they do, and they're up by like 7, and I'm usually up around 8:30. So they'll listen out for me. And I have sleep apnea that I can't afford to go get a machine for.
So...
Okay, so what had happened is this is what we were going to talk about. So I was trying to... Where the heck did I thought I dropped this in general.
This Nancy Pelosi?
No,
God, that woman is the devil on earth. I swear to God.
We're here to talk about
You
what had
will
happened
respect
last night.
the Speaker of the House.
God,
you respect me.
Why can't I...
When you know who was doing his last State of the Union and she tore up the address,
Should I put it in?
I wanted to reach through and punch her in the face.
Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, I was looking at the
probably
wrong screen.
wouldn't hurt because I can't feel too much of anything after my thoughts about
window.
It's vodka and
She's
dip the ice cream bars
busy getting her husband out of jail for DUI.
So this is what appears on my screen immediately after downloading this last night's video from Restream. And it says that, there's my warning from way back December 15th when we did our first episode. So strike on June 8th, it says, which is the feud of billionaires with last night's show. Look at that policy, medical misinformation. So then immediately I went in, put in the appeal right off the bat, because we've always said at any point in time, if we did even slip for whatever reason, that we do not believe, or that we suggest that you actually go see your doctor and do what's best for yourself. Don't go off of what we said, no matter what. Mm-hmm. So even on a slip, because if it's just a mistake of saying something that wasn't meant to be said, all of a sudden I get this ding for this medical misinformation. And during the episode, I had picked up a subscriber and went up to 54, and I'm like, oh, sweet. Well, then all of a sudden, I look over, I had refreshed the screen, and it went down to 53. So as opposed to just, coming and talking to us and saying, hey, this is how I feel about a certain situation, because we're all accepting to everybody. We don't care what your thoughts or what your negative thoughts are or whatever. It doesn't matter. Come and see us. Come hang out with us. We'd like you all. So then, for whatever reason, I get flagged for this. Within 2 hours, it had come back. 6 o'clock this morning, it come back. And they gave me my channel back. That's why we're here tonight. Otherwise, it would have been a whole week before I would have been able to come back.
See, this is the problem with the algorithms. They don't listen for context. They just search for keywords. It's ridiculous.
So then the policy itself, it reads out, it says YouTube does not allow content that poses a serious risk to egregious harm by spreading medical misinformation about currently administered jabs that are approved and confirmed to be safe, which we totally agree with. They're totally safe, and you should go see your doctor and see what's best for you. Always. But whoever decided to actually come in here and join us last night and then dropped a subscription the second that they didn't like something that we were actually talking about, because we did switched up the topic as AmericaShirts come in after the 2 hours. So then if they didn't like the topic that was being said, they could have brought it up to us and actually held a conversation with us, as opposed to trying to flag my channel for no reason whatsoever. Oh, I was going to show this screen. My bad.
So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you listen to every freaking word that the CDC and Fauci and all these people tell you, because the government is here to help you. They would never do anything against you. And all of these big corporations and, people in Bilderberg, that we went over, they all love you. Bill Gates loves you. Just so we're clear. Right?
Right.
Exactly. Of course,
he wants what's best
do
for you.
America
He wants what's best for you, and that's why when I play one of those videos at the beginning of the show,
Bill Gates knows what's best for you. End of conversation.
Gun pointed at your head. Yes.
Yes, Slade Raider. The almighty Fauci, of course.
Oh, look at that.
Our dear
Welcome
leaders.
to the pond, Divinity.
Oh. Hey, Divinity.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What's up? Hey.
Loud and clear. How's it going tonight?
Got tired of sharing your crackhead story over on Experts channel?
Yeah.
That had to be an insane experience.
Yeah, and I found that girl on Facebook. Okay. I know who she is. Well, I don't know who she is, but I found her on Facebook.
Well, here's hoping she's better.
I bet she's catfishing people, because you couldn't really tell.
Sully, get your butt in here.
Yes.
That's one thing I do whenever I would meet a girl online. I'd be talking to her and I'd ask her, hey, are you real? And if she said yes, I'd say, send me a picture of a thumbs up. And she'd
just something random?
Yeah, or something random.
Oh,
and
hell, all star.
I never got catfished.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing my luck, though, I'll eventually wake up in a tub of ice.
You just so happen to pick the ones that were out there that
said,
oh, hey, I guess I can deal with them. Oh. Them short ones.
Expert sign off.
I met somebody
said that expert sign off only took an hour and 3 minutes tonight.
Welcome, RJ.
What were you saying, Divinity?
Yes, I met somebody from a chat room a long time ago, and I picked him up at LAX, and he was missing a front tooth. I'm like, what the?
Well,
that
okay,
is not something I knew.
I'm missing 2 teeth because I didn't have baby. I had baby teeth and
front
none to
one?
grow in. Yes, sadly.
Oh, and they didn't put him back in?
I don't have the $20,000 for implants. That, yep. I had a neighbor.
Okay.
Well,
disclose that before you meet somebody face to face.
Oh, I do.
It's shocking.
I do. I don't lie to people like that. It's because I had the baby teeth. They fell out, like baby teeth do, and I none to grow in. Our neighbor, my old neighbor, when I grew up, he owned a dental lab. It was his. He would make the implants for people. And I went by his house and visited him for the first time in years last year, and he said, "Yeah, the price is up to about $20,000 for that kind of thing."
But I missed what happened. You lost your baby teeth like everyone else, and then you didn't have ones to come in?
I didn't have any to grow in.
They just never showed up.
No. And luckily, I don't have wisdom teeth either, so I don't have to deal with that pain.
Were you a twin at all?
Do you have any teeth?
No, I have a little machine here that chews my food for me.
Oh, well, okay.
No, yes, shirts, I have teeth. No, but my mom
we were just scrolling down the list of teeth he doesn't have. I'm like, does he have any? Like,
I have like the not the two front teeth, but the two beside them. I can't, the incisors, I think they're called.
Yeah. Oh, that's difficult. I'm actually really sorry that's the situation for you. That's terrible.
Yeah. My mom would every time from like 8 to 18, every year at Christmas, she'd call the insurance company and she said, "Hey, will y'all cover this?" They said, "No, it's cosmetic." Even she tried to explain, "Hey, he."
Well, I would like to help you with that if I can.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because that's a difficult life to live.
Yeah, and it makes.
Oh, hi, RJ63 studies at a wrench banned me. Ooh. Oh, we're talking dirty, are we?
What state do you live in, nerd?
I live in Florida.
Gay.
It's hot, humid, and full of
Just
people.
kidding.
No, it sucks sometimes.
No, Florida's rad. I was just joking.
I heard a comedian say he was from Florida and he was up north, and he's like, "Yeah, if you want to experience Florida weather, get in your shower, take the hottest shower you can."
Whatever. I've heard that before. I went to Georgia and it wasn't bad.
No, he said, then put your clothes on without drying, and that's how muggy and sweaty it is. It was 107 here today.
It was 103 here today.
Yeah, it sucks. You live out in California, don't you?
Yeah, I live in the Valley, Southern California.
I want to go there so bad and just visit like Hollywood.
You don't. It's so not what it seems. It's just a bunch of piss on the sidewalks and bums.
Yeah, I had a friend who went down Rodeo Drive, and she said it was just.
But that's nice.
Grimy.
Sure. But the houses are nice. I mean, you're not. I don't know. If you just are sightseeing, it's not the worst. Yeah.
Say I've been there.
And then Gavin Newsom finds out you've been on this stream and then kidnaps you and holds you for ransom or something. Allegedly.
Says, I got the Outpost Nerd from Florida. If you want him back, you'll send $10 million to all your illegal immigrants.
So, Koolfrogg, did you already talk about what happened last night when we were infiltrated?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We pointed it out so that everybody knew.
Well, just in case they're lurking in the chat, they can eat dicks. Is it too early to say that?
Not necessarily. Not here. I allow it.
I like how she says that after she states the thing that she wants to preface as being cautionary.
I told Nerd the first time he was on here, it was okay. He as long as he didn't say things like fuckity fuck, because it's just too much.
Oh my god!
I broke that rule, didn't I?
I think Koolfrogg just broke that rule himself just now.
It's like in Jay and Silent Bob. He's got a song that's just like 2 minutes streaming of curse words.
Sully always has a problem figuring out how to get in here, I think.
Okay. Well, you know what? I have a problem trying to figure out what the link to my own damn channel is. I can't do anything on the laptop.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
so
using
easy
like
on a phone.
7 or 8 year old laptop with a 15-year-old computer monitor that won't connect anymore.
I pretty much have you. I should put you on a little button as opposed to
your channel. How the hell do I get the link now?
Here you go. Here's Divinity's link. Everybody should click on that and go and sub to her so that she can get the last.
Thank you.
38.
Oh, hey, Koolfrogg, I'm going to hop off for a second
No, you're
and switch
not.
devices.
Koolfrogg.
Talking to
Hey,
Sully.
Hey, Shirts.
I'll be right back.
Yay.
Look, I had so much
It's fine, Shirts.
fun last night. I thought I'd try to come and see if y'all were having fun tonight, and you were.
Yeah, that's all we're doing. We're just going to have
Sully,
fun.
I
You kind of
told
pointed
Koolfrogg-
out the reason why we're here is because of some jackhole that tried to flag us last night at the
I
end of
did
the
not
show.
get that. That's what I wondered. Did this happen later?
Yeah, like seriously, right as we ended the show, because I went and I downloaded the episode from Restream, downloaded the audio, and then I went over and I went to go click on the YouTube side, and it said that I had a warning for medical misinformation. I'm like, no, that's not what. No. And I went and I fought it, and I got it back within like 2 hours. I was sleeping, but woke up to a nice warning of your appeal was granted. Normally I have to wait like 24 hours for something like that.
Wow.
Someone had their eye on you.
Well, look, you know how to appeal that. You, share that when if the expert gets in trouble.
Oh yeah, I mean, seriously, I kind of bounced it off of Divinity and a couple others that were sitting in chat on what I was doing. We were sitting over in Discord last night, and it was like, what in the world? So we kind of bounced it off of each other or whatever to make sure that we had some of the wording correctly. I mean, I did say what I wanted to say, which was there was no, we didn't say anything at all. It's just a straight up, we didn't say a single word. Then I added the, if you want me to put a warning on the video, I'll totally put a warning on the video just to, give me the video back or whatever, and it come back. I mean, so you just have to tell it what you want.
So
like, no,
they released everything on it?
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
like
They didn't even point to a specific part that we would have said.
It was
anything.
a whole video.
Yeah.
The
That's
whole
so
video.
weird.
Nick Arcade got struck
Didn't
one
expert?
time.
I thought expert had an idea of why that happened. What did he say to me?
I don't remember.
I know what I feel. How I feel about what happened.
What's that?
Nick Arcade got struck one time.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna have to do something here because a couple of Diva's things didn't show up. And I don't have a mod out there because you two are in here. So, Diva, you're now a mod.
Where is Diva?
Yay!
Yay! Is she here?
She's in the chat.
She's in the chat. I just gave her mod ability so that her stuff won't get blocked.
And Diva, you can unblock and you can check channels.
It got my League of Women.
You can let all the white hearts through.
Yes, let all the white, or just like pregnant men or flowers or pray hands or just whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I suppose I could be cool about this just because all three of you like to come in here and actually talk. I should give some mod abilities to somebody else as well. I think I'm going to give it to RJ because he likes to sit and chat. And he can also have mod abilities. How's that work?
RJ's. Will he take it?
Did we have a choice? Could we have denied that?
He was like, "You mean I didn't have to do all that?"
No.
Yes, you can, but it was just
the
thrown in
expert
my
is
head.
here.
It was like
Expert.
dodgeball.
What's up, buddy?
It was like dodgeball. One hit me in the forehead, and it was blue.
That was such a good movie.
RJ is great. I can ban myself.
Yeah.
Koolfrogg, he trains the duck, dive, dodge. He trains that theory.
Diva,
Have you
we're
ever heard
probably
of that?
on the list.
The 5 Ds of dodgeball.
Yeah, the 5 Ds. Haven't you heard of that?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Of course. I thought that's how you trained.
You know what's weird? I just put perfume on no matter what. Sometimes I'm just sitting here by myself and it makes me feel better.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice.
I love it. It smells so good.
Where's the expert? Is he coming over here?
RJ, you can
He's
mute
in
the
the
expert
chat.
all you want, but if you
He
do it
is?
too many times, I might have to actually
And
give him a
Diva is
wrench to
too.
knock you back.
Willy
It has to be
tight.
So
somebody
what were
else,
you
and then there's
talking about,
7 people
Koolfrogg?
watching.
What were you talking about?
Seriously, we were just telling people that, I'm waiting for somebody to show back up that was here last night to see who it was that actually tried getting me for this misinformation.
Bill
Because
Gates.
If it's a particular person that just shows up and can tell me that it wasn't them, then I can feel better about myself knowing that it wasn't them and it was somebody
They're
else.
not going to tell you whether it wasn't me.
You never know.
Yes, we do.
Look, that was a fantastic live. You need to feel great about yourself. In my opinion.
Shirts will be here in
Drunk
2 hours.
with power, that's
Shirts
right.
was here. He said he was going to go switch the device, and then he'd be right back. Looks like he's still up in Discord, so he'll be back. Bill Gates will make his appearance again. He always does.
Whether you want him to or not. So
That's what I think, Slade. If they flagged him the way they did, then they're not going to come back and be like, sorry about that.
No.
Like they would have said something last night.
So Sully, since last night's stream, I can't unsee R2D2 in my logo now.
It's not R2D2.
Look, it is the most beautiful picture maybe that I've ever taken, and I'm a photographer.
No, I'm talking about my logo.
Oh, no, I was talking.
After expert pointed it out, I laughed. I'm looking at him thinking, fuck, motherfucker.
What's it supposed to be?
It was supposed to be like a
your
little
logo?
outpost, little building transmitting into space. Since that was the, now I see it. I see it's R2D2.
I only ever thought it was ever
Yes,
R2D2.
I thought it was R2D2, and he even wiggled halfway through the live.
You're wiggling
the
now.
majority of the
Yeah,
live,
you
he
are.
was doing a thing. It was hilarious.
I used one of those free little like logo
It was
makers
the
you
best
can find
live
online.
ever, Koolfrogg. You did an outstanding job. You remain so cool too. That's what I was impressed with. You were so cool and calm. Yes, I know. It was hilarious.
Diva, that's funny.
What did Diva say?
I have alternate personas, but it wasn't one of them, I don't think.
We need to get Diva up here to say it in words.
Oh, and her
I saw,
words?
Yes.
I saw a TikTok. It was
There'd be,
a girl
there'd
asked.
be so many people that would be so excited.
Do you feel like we're running over here hijacking your panel every night, Koolfrogg?
No, I called for this.
Okay, good.
If you didn't actually see the
kick us off.
thumbnail
We
for
were
it or whatever.
excited.
You're right, exactly. I mean, I can just do like this.
Look,
and I
do
can
you
flip
know
a
how
button,
nice it is?
and I can
at
say,
the
"Ha!
expert?
You're not here any longer." And then I
Do
go,
you know how nice it is?
"Welcome
Look,
back."
do you know how
And then I
nice
go,
it
"Oh,
is as the expert
it's Dictionary
to
Diva."
stick by a timer?
Hello. I could have joined as one of my other personas, but I decided not to.
Diva.
They needed to go to sleep.
It's like that TikTok. A woman asks her boyfriend, "Are you cheating on me?" He says no. She's like, "You hesitated." Well, you have 7 personalities, so I don't know if I'm cheating or not.
Exciting.
She's like,
It's
"You
IDCrisis.
hesitated." Well, you have 7 personalities, so I don't know if I'm cheating or not.
Hello, IDCrisis.
What?
You cheat
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh, sorry.
I hear all my voices all at once.
That was me. I always end up forgetting to close that one tab.
Way to boomer.
Good job, IDCrisis.
Hey, was that the repeating that you heard? Because I couldn't get this computer to, I couldn't get anybody to hear anything from my iTunes or anything like that the other night.
This
You
is
sound good now.
For the expert,
Well,
he would say, "What's a repeater?"
So, how was everybody? All the girls scampered over here after they were done with the expert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess
makes us all feel warm.
That's because we're wondering if Koolfrogg's going to tell us what a devil's three-way is, because they won't tell us until Friday night.
You don't know what that is?
Where did I just read?
No, do you, Outpost? Do you know?
I've heard of it. Never had.
Do you know what it
involved.
is? That's my question. You do?
Yes.
Well, tell me.
It is 2 guys and 1 girl instead of 1 guy, 2 girls.
Out of all the things I could have imagined, that would be it.
Well, what do they call the other one?
Threesome, I guess.
Okay, so it's innocent.
Menage a trois, Baba.
Menage a trois.
Menage a trois.
Whoa.
Breaking out the bear.
Here's to good times. Tonight is kind of special.
Make it a
I can never get that
It's special because we're actually
and off
still
my
here.
Heineke.
They almost kicked us off last night because they're like, "Oh yeah, you threw some misinformation at us."
Really?
Which was a freaking lie.
Which misinformation?
I don't know what misinformation it was, because when I did the appeal, they gave my channel back within 2 hours.
I want to know too.
I
What
wanna know who did
information
it.
could that have been?
I'm gonna assume it was one of the 2 that actually popped into
The little bit of information
there you go.
got to
the other one. Hopefully
was a
they'll come back,
newspaper
and I'll know which
article.
one did it.
Uh-oh.
That's what I'm.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Volstrom used to smart.
Okay.
Well, we need to get Volstrom up here to rant about that.
Yes.
What's the rant about? I could probably
The
find
Angels
something.
three-way.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I've never.
Really?
Why would 2 guys be a devil's? Devil's Baker's dozen or something?
It's more in. I saw a movie. They joked about this. It was like the guy was told it was. I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, but it's got to be there's
Yeah.
got to be a reason for it. I mean, it would be if she didn't want it, it would be called a devil's three-way. If she did want it, then why would the devil?
Well, this was from. It's a devil's 3-way from the guy's point of view, not the woman's point of view.
Wait a second. This sounds like a
Here,
good Urban Dictionary. Yep.
says
Yeah,
opposite of
they got the
devil's
Urban Dictionary.
three-way. When God decides to send 2 angels from heaven that you can bang all night, meaning 2 girls on 1 guy.
I didn't hear you say that again.
2 girls on 1 guy.
No, start at the beginning.
Hey,
This is its
nerd.
opposite.
Where
of
do
the
you
devil's
live
three-way.
at? Do you
When
live
God
in
decides
down
to
here in Florida.
send you
in the Panhandle, like
Ignore them.
Alabama?
Keep going.
Yeah, I live
from
in LA.
heaven that you can bang all night. Meaning
Did you
2
say it was
girls
107
on
degrees
1
there?
guy.
That's
what
what
I thought.
I was driving into
Yeah.
town. That's what one of the bank temperatures said. I don't know if it was right or not.
Lord have
That's a
mercy.
trip.
So it gives
Look,
examples.
we're getting
It gives
a lot.
It gives
I saw
examples.
81 today.
This
I would
is
love
John.
to hear the examples.
Yo, man, I had Laura and Emma last night.
Of course,
Yo,
it's
That
hot.
was awesome.
Hey, what do y'all get a room?
Jan says, "Damn,
We're in the room.
I wish I had. I
with
wish
us,
I
Zoe.
could have an Angels three-way with those 2."
I found another word. Because now we're on Urban Dictionary.
I cannot wait.
The second Angels three-way, oh, that one's has something to do with food.
Ooh.
It's kind of interesting. We can get there if we need
Are you
to.
allowed to read it?
There's got to be
You
a
think you could get us
bookmark
there?
that you love, Diva,
All
that
of
you
us?
can dress
women
those paperbacks up
In a
with.
three-way with 1 man, also sometimes referred to as a love sandwich.
Yeah.
This is
So,
a devil's whatever?
My
Triangle?
opinion, that sounds super gay, which an Angels three-way is mostly definitely not.
Where is the
Definitely not.
expert?
Example.
Yes, we need
Tom,
an expert for this.
Dude hooked up with Katie and Sandra last night.
Expert.
Josh says, "Oh hell yeah, dude!
Oh hell yeah!
Angels three-way, and those two babes must have been heavenly."
What? But did that explain what the devil's three-way was?
I think it's 3 dudes.
3 dudes?
Wait a second.
That sounds terrible.
One,
That sounds like hell.
girls.
That's way too many horns.
3.
Yeah, it's got to be 2.
I'm not horned at all for that one.
Look, no, yeah. Oh, no.
Oh wait, you're showing pictures. I'm just listening.
I have a strong urge for M&Ms right now.
Just the green ones.
The green one's a dirty girl.
Horny.
Yeah,
They make you
it's
horny.
supposed to make you horny. That's what the.
Is that
the
dirty?
is.
Is that dirty if you get horny?
That
No, dirty is everything that happens if you go with it.
Throwing
What?
some knowledge at
No,
us.
if you
Just
if
go
you
with it,
ignore
Sully.
you'll get
Exactly. If you go with
That sounds like a
Just go
terrible
with it.
idea. Ivy.
Sully, just go with it.
that's what I'm
Thank
saying.
you.
If you can start,
Thank
you
you.
can. You have to.
I've received mental health professional advice.
I thought that
I'll
was
just do what
tomorrow. I
I'm doing.
thought Therapy Thursday was tomorrow.
Sexual
Oh no,
therapy
I don't
advice.
attend that. I wasn't on the patient list.
I was really looking forward to it because it's like free.
I know, isn't that awesome? But nerds, you're going to be there, aren't you?
No, I said I'm not. No, Thursday's my D&D night.
The people who should be there are never the
Oh,
people
White
who are.
Rabbit will work
are there.
around it. Well, what is it?
No, it's like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, it couldn't
Yeah.
be 4 or 5 hours.
It's a short game of D&D.
That's how you get 3 humps.
Yeah.
5 hours.
Come on.
I think 0
Come on,
humps.
nerd. That would be so good. You would feel so much better after. She was so sweet. And she's good to talk to. And think of, I mean, it might damn go viral and people start getting like some therapy.
That's
She
true.
could she could start putting out videos. I'm all about it.
She could be another Brene Brown.
That's actually
Yes.
a pretty. It'll be like the next Law Tube. It'll be like Therapy Tube, and then
If it works out,
I'll
she'll work on you
Jennings
guys.
there can be a
If it
group of
works out
people,
for you,
and then
I'm
somebody
going
can say
to.
something wrong, and then there can be a whole bunch of drama surrounding it.
Oh, that's
Someone
Imagine.
timestamp all of this the day that she fixed us all. Then we won't have anything to talk about or hang out.
Exactly.
This is not a good idea.
The real Ken Jennings does that kind of stuff. Does like
There's
therapy reviews.
We need a talking stick, but what can we use?
You mean like a conch?
Like
the conch, the conch from Lord of the Flies?
I mean,
That didn't work out.
Is
too
there a
good for them.
sticker on here we can?
That's what I was trying to think of today.
What the conch?
Lord of the Flies. That
Yeah.
was. I kept
You're
thinking. It was an. I was just thinking it was an island, and the title had to do with bugs, and I could not remember it. You just.
Have you ever seen Beach?
The beach is really good. I was surprised at how
It's
much
Lord
I
of
liked
the
that.
Flies in a big way. To me, it is. There's a lot.
Yeah,
of
I thought
Lord of the Flies.
I thought it was really good. I was surprised that I would like
I,
it as much
I
as
was
I did.
too. I didn't watch it for a long time.
Me neither. I didn't see it when it came out. I saw it after somebody had. I have to hear from somebody that it's actually good. Aside from like we're gonna go see Top Gun Maverick on Saturday.
God, I want to see that so bad.
I know it's going to be good because what was I watching? I think it was The Critical Drinker, and it was talking about the total lack of CG effects and the whole thing, and that there's going to be something that goes. And I've noticed this before. There's something that goes off in your lizard brain when you see a physical stunt happening, and that it's not computer generated, and you have to imagine reality and then wash it through this thing that. When those F-18s are doing barrel rolls and crazy stunts and stuff like that, it's just so much better to. It's more exciting.
I love it when the military does that a lot with movies. There was a movie I saw where the group they were on the Arctic in the North Arctic, one of the ice shelves, and they were supposed to have be picked up by a submarine, and the Navy actually brought in a submarine to break through the ice to get the shot.
I can't remember. I think I know the movie you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, I figured
Stargate Continuum.
You've got to think there's going to be some like what are the ones in the? I think it's like Blue Angels, and the other ones are I can't remember the F-16s, but like the stunt fighters, that they do it for like a living all the time. Well, I got to imagine there's some like current or former of those guys in the credits.
Speaking of the Blue Angels, their base is just a few hours from me, so I would grow up every summer going over there for their homecoming.
And RJ says that there's supposedly no Hollywood indoctrination in it. So.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's going to be another thing that makes it awesome.
Tom Cruise, from what I understand, Tom Cruise pops up at the beginning. He says, "This is not made for Hollywood. This is made for you, the fans."
Finally.
And he's like, "Enjoy the movie, and we did this for you. Enjoy it."
What, in the actual movie, he just says that?
He in the theaters. From Nick Rekieta saw
Thunderbirds. Yeah, there it is. Volstorm got it.
I've seen the Thunderbirds too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like a little introduction into the movie.
Like, why is everybody quiet except for two people?
Who said that?
Are we really that enthralling? And
no, we're stoned.
Oh wait! I'm gonna.
My dog is stoned.
I'm passing the conch over to Outpost, and then he can have it and pass it to somebody after that.
I haven't been able to go to the movie theater in probably about 3 or 4 years. Just due to
Did somebody say pass the bong?
The conch. It was that earlier thing from Lord of the Flies.
So
if you held the conch, it was your turn to talk.
But it's a bong.
A conch shell.
I've got the bong.
Wait. This is the part where, like, you're learning this from the expert. You know what I'm talking about. You're pretending that you don't, so that I will. You're trolling me. I'm with it. Have you've never read the
What
book?
is trolling?
Don't even try that.
Trolling.
Come over here.
What's trolling?
Eat your big brother. Let me eat your big brother.
The bigger the lie, the more they believe.
What was that?
Wow.
What was that?
The bigger the lie, the more they believe.
Is that aggressive behavior?
It seemed.
Is that too loud?
No, I don't know what you're doing.
It's a cart program. I have like little sayings and stuff in here.
You can't rush art.
Very loud.
It is?
It is a bit loud. It's a bit loud, yes.
Plug your ears.
My drunk dog.
Diplomatic.
Well,
is your dog really drunk?
I need to know this stuff for
She
the
is
day,
stoned.
like weeks
Yeah.
and weeks
That's
from
awesome.
now. Whenever I do this myself.
Actually, it's always a blonde.
Why is the expert not up here? He's frolicking around. He's twitting
If you're
around.
good at something, never do it for free.
Is that loud?
Is that Jimmy?
I haven't seen a Jimmy.
I want to clip Jimmy from last night so bad. That was excellent. I put the timestamps in his comments. Yeah, if y'all have not heard it, go over to to Koolfrogg's, and I left a comment with the 2 timestamps. Him doing Joker. It is. Oh my gosh, it's so good, isn't it, Koolfrogg?
Yes, there's just so many golden pieces that showed up last night, because last night was so impromptu.
It was so
everybody
fun.
just like, let's go. All right, we're fine. AmericaShirts isn't here.
Look, we were headed over here.
Tonight.
We've still got confusion about 1 hump or 2 hump. We may need to put up a poll. I don't know.
3.
Because we've got a real debate going on whether 1 hump or 2 hump is better.
You can't be 1 or 2. It's always 3.
Maybe we need to talk about it.
Well, I think those are the
have a
choices
session.
we put. And we just see what it brings back from the hearts,
You had me
from our real secret votes, our ballots.
Right. 5 to 6 hours, you get in 3.
There you go. I'll
That sounds
just
like
catch
it. That
on
sounds like an art.
tomorrow's show.
That sounds like an art institute.
That's he'll thoroughly
curriculum.
use
Get
all 10
4
inches
years of art
of
school
Sud's
in
beard.
2.
Yes. 4 years of therapy crammed into 30 minutes.
I'm gonna have to do my. I'm gonna have to do my own. Everybody come in and tell me how loud my shit is stream.
Everybody say
Why
that.
is it loud?
Well, so much for getting sleep tonight.
Yeah.
What's sleep?
Is that Bob?
How I loathe sleep, little slices of death.
Yes.
Just a waste of time.
Petite
This is turning into a bunch of people that I tell the same joke of and over again.
That's why you need new material.
Wait a second.
I do. But
Experts camel says moo. I'm really kind of confused on that.
This tells you everything you need to know about the expert.
Camels aren't real.
Oh, here we go again with that.
Or at least that second hump isn't.
It's something else.
That's why they
Hey,
have 3.
Ballstorm, did you see the last night's portrait? I took a group portrait.
No, I did not see last night.
Oh, it was beautiful. Surely Koolfrogg could show that.
I can show what?
Last night's portrait.
Last night's portrait?
I
Did
sent it
miss
to
something?
you.
Oh,
I sent it to you.
hold on.
Put down the bong.
Cameras
As
are
a
too
matter
real.
of fact, I
No,
think
it's easier to type
one.
with 2 hands. Put it down.
I actually think that
Okay, let me see. So
Expert
you
wants
put
to
it in
use
my
it
general,
as his
right?
brand.
What, you want the comments? Is that what you want? What are you looking for?
No.
Portrait.
You took
It
so
was a
many to throw.
portrait. It was a portrait of our panel where we were like, we looked up to our R2D2. We looked up at them.
Oh.
You remember? Is it too early for that?
No, hold on. I'm getting there. There's too many buttons you got to push to get this thing to actually
I
come up
had to
right.
send it. I mean, I think it's just fantastic. It's very creative on your part, I might add. I saw the production go on. It was really hilarious.
Are you talking about this thing here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did
Look
see
at
that.
us down there. We're all little people. His mic was out of control.
Because my nervousness.
That's usually what happens.
You got to go in the last
Well,
minute.
anybody
of that
can
and
Google
watch it.
that.
It's
Come on,
hilarious.
RJ.
It is hilarious. Isn't that a great portrait?
It's funny. I mean,
It's real funny. Just because we know each other, it's funny.
Especially the little words that over R2D2's head.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm starting.
Yes, it's hilarious.
It is.
Nerd, how you feel about this?
Yeah.
He can't
know.
unsee it.
You hate it?
I
man?
always
I'm
thought
not-
that this was
I
part of
don't
his
mind the
design.
R2 thing. I don't mind the R2 thing.
But I always thought it was part of the design. That's why I thought it was. Oh yeah, okay, I get it. It's a.
Look,
it's
we
a
wouldn't
nerd.
be the same without you, nerd.
No, I don't mind the R2 thing. It's basically the shit house thing that bothered me a little bit.
That's
See,
not
I was,
a shit house. That's
This
just
is
a
an
barn out in
outhouse.
the
What do you think
woods.
an outhouse is?
It's the outhouse.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be
Because we
shit.
made
Look,
it just came from all the fun
Uh-oh.
names.
I'll be
Outpost
Expert's
and
not gonna
Outpost
join
and
us.
Outpress.
I'll
And
be
Outpost.
totally
Expert's taking a
honest.
dump and he's gonna go to bed.
Who?
I've never been under the impression that Outpost was the type of person that you wanted to use as a whipping boy without
Experts
giving him a
still
break
throwing out
once
the
in a
camera.
Oh,
while.
I've dealt with that kind of shit a lot in my life.
RJ, that's great. I had to Google how to spell dromedary.
Damn, my knees killing me tonight.
Yeah, you should probably use a chair.
Motherfucker.
No, I'm telling you, that reminds me of a joke that went right over my
Knee
my
pads
wife-
help.
my wife's
No.
grandmother's head. We're
Not having
over,
3 knee surgeries help.
Oh, that's not good. What did you do?
The first one was falling out of a tree when I was a kid.
Cool.
And the second and third one was because I got hit head on in a car accident.
Oh, that's not good. The first one is how you know you were having fun that day.
Oh yeah, me and a friend, we were being towed up. My folks were in a boat towing me and a friend in a canoe up the river, and we see this rope swing with some handlebars tied onto it.
And you're like, it's the next Juicy Fruit commercial or Mountain Dew commercial, one of those two.
My dad says, "Don't go on it. We don't know those people." And what our dumbasses do, we go straight for it.
Right.
And I fell. I swing out, and I don't go up far enough. I land in like 2 inches of water on my knee.
Mm-hmm.
From about 20 feet up in the air.
Nice.
Car wreck was I was in the turning lane, and the other two lanes had let this person cross, and she didn't see me, and I couldn't see her, and she turns and hits me head on.
Oh, you're part of the infamous somebody out there who's not looking at everything as directing traffic for free.
No, there was a bus. I was in the turning lane coming up to a turning light, and she was pulling out of a business, and the two other lanes had let her through, but one of them in the middle was a school bus.
Right.
And she couldn't see me through the school bus, over the school bus, and she turns and we meet right there beside the school bus.
Has anybody experienced the thing, like kind of what he's talking about, but has anybody experienced two people out there on the road? One of them is letting somebody like into traffic, into their lane or whatever.
It's
but
imposter
they don't see
AmericaShirts.
Yes, I do that. I do that a lot. Let people in front of me.
Yeah, but what I mean is like
nobody can
see.
see.
It's hard to do this. It's hard to do this without a map. But there's a instructor that's done it like 3 times in the last week, and each time I've had to, you do that thing where you like ready to slam on the brakes, the hair on the back of your neck goes up, and you're just like, fucking people, stop doing that.
Why are you driving so fast on people?
Somebody say hi to Imposter Shirts.
You're I'm not even gonna try to get to the end of this. It's
ease up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Gates.
We can't hear you, AmericaShirts.
It's not, is it?
Well, probably one of these numbers you have to get pretty near to 0. That's just a fact of high school algebra. But let's take a look.
Goodness. It is. Have I got some questions for you?
No, Bill.
Oh God!
Bill,
Hold on
I
to your
got
hats,
something to
folks.
tell you. You cheated one of my high school teachers out of millions of dollars. Do you realize that? I actually had a teacher who worked in the garage with Bill Gates when they were creating Microsoft.
Well, when you're obsessed with, depopulation and global domination, you're not really concerned about any of those other things.
Yes.
You actually sound a little bit like Uncle Emo Phillips. A little bit.
You guys
well,
want to hear
that went
something
right over
weird?
my head.
Why I don't know why I let these strange honking noises coming out of my mouth and expect anybody to interpret them. Like, that's not the most arcane reference in the world. People have heard of that comedian before, right?
Who?
Uncle Emo Phillips?
No, I've never heard of
No.
All right. It's...
No!
Was that too loud?
It was.
A bit.
A little bit.
Man, I've got it turned down almost.
Tiny bit.
Why are you always playing with your knobs, man?
All right. I want to get it so that like I can use it without blowing out an audience.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever. Guys, go ahead. I'm gonna pass the conch.
So we were in chat today in Discord, and somebody was talking a lot, and I kept thinking, man, this person sounds so familiar. And he lives in California, so I knew it wasn't my friend, but it's like they had the same exact voice. I end up adding him on Instagram, and he has the same first and last name as my friend.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
It's almost like that idea that you have your twin out there somewhere in the world.
Not my what?
Everybody has a twin.
You never heard that urban legend? Supposedly there's someone out there in the world that looks exactly like you.
God, I hope not.
A doppelganger? Yeah, well, is there somebody out there who has my first and last name and my voice?
You never, maybe.
Maybe.
That would be super cool. You want to hear another story?
Go for it.
Sure.
My sister is an EMT, and she was on a call one time, and it was a bad call. And afterwards she called me and she was really sad. And so I pulled over the car to talk to her. I had just dropped my daughter off at like a soccer thing. And I'm sitting there, and it just didn't pull out of where we were. I was still just sitting at that house. And she's telling me the story, and she's kind of upset, and she tells me the woman's name, and it's like Denise Johnson. And I'm like, what? And I look up, and I'm at the cross streets of Denise and Johnson.
Ugh.
Oh, that's freaky.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? That is so crazy. That's all.
The weirdest thing that ever happened in my
RJ
family.
says the
That's
world
the
is
worst
stupid.
joke I've ever heard in my life. That wasn't even funny.
It was too short.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was too short. Nobody laughed.
I found it the right.
I guess mine was worse.
You know, I think you all are going to turn him into like some serial killer or something. He's gonna be
know.
He's going to turn around one day, and every time somebody says the word short, he's just going to like try and like, you know, take their pinky finger off or something, you know.
Be like in Psycho. It's just
Gonna peep, peep, peep.
I'm waiting for the record to skip.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, the panel looks so good on my TV. I just got it up there, but I am damn
You're welcome.
jiggling.
You are.
It's like, yeah, what about those moments where it's
I
like dead
cannot
silent and
sit
you're like,
I don't know what to tell you to
You
do.
got to get the expert up here.
You're an
Expert,
epileptic's
get
worst
up
nightmare.
here.
Two
right
more
now,
spots. How come the
It
expert's
is
not here?
crazy.
Will RJ
Yeah,
join
really,
us?
I bothered to take a nap so that I wouldn't. Be
I
like,
watched it today, and it's on the repeat too. It's funny, and at one point he's sitting in the middle, and it's just going back and forth.
Sully is
Yeah,
wiggling.
Sully's wiggling, and her rectangle isn't gray; it's black. Or at
No,
least-
I'm doing like a little jiggle, a little. It's like twerking. I'm twerking.
Oh God.
Are birds just meow? I thought they didn't exist.
That's a penguin.
I would think a bird would go.
Birds aren't real.
'cause it's not real.
But the real question is, what does the fox say?
No,
Expert
no,
says
no,
wolf.
no.
What does the fox say?
No.
Beep, 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 beep.
God, that song was like insane when it was around.
Baby shark.
Nope,
Do,
nope,
do,
nope,
do,
No,
do,
don't.
Oh, no.
No.
I'm so glad my little niece never got
He carries it.
gotten.
Is anything worse than Mbop?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Baby Shark is worse.
Baby Shark,
is
yeah.
worse than
It's
Mbop.
not showing a penguin on my
Diva,
screen.
are you up here? Your PP?
Look.
Am I
It
showing up
doesn't
as
show a
PT
penguin.
right now?
Does it show a penguin?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
Is that a penguin?
I'll fix
But
it.
that's right. And then
No, it's too short to be a penguin.
I
It's supposed to be
if
getting bigger.
I touch anything, I
Hello.
become Avatar.
Is that one better?
Yes.
Very much so.
I'll keep finding different
Let's
ones.
see.
Mine's
that should,
twitching. I cannot sit still.
this should be Sully's. Not mine.
No.
I'm going to keep looking for the right avatar.
This one's good.
Let's see. Hold on.
I'm dying to
Put
see
the,
what the
just put the
expert
Twitch
does.
on the thing.
Come on, expert, get up here.
Is that what happens when you're on your
Yes,
phone
come
or
on,
something other
expert.
than a laptop?
Move your avatar, baby. And this is.
I feel like
Are
I
we
should
having a
come up with something
lesson?
more whimsical.
Come on, expert.
I
We know
just-
the insomnia's kicked
Oh,
in. Just get
goodness.
on here.
Slade enjoys her banter. It's great.
Is that ball? Oh,
I've
he's
never
holding
got blue
on.
shark stuck in my head.
It's got to be a grand entrance with him, you know.
Everybody should make sure that they're actually subscribed to this channel if they're paying attention right now.
Or in the future. Future generations should subscribe to this channel.
So what's on the agenda, Koolfrogg?
It's nothing.
Yeah, this is a stone soup kind of a thing, it sounds like.
It's open mic night, isn't it?
Pretty much what it is. Is
Well,
anybody got any
give
good
me-
stories they would like to
Tell
share?
me some kind of news.
AmericaShirts or Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Tell us something good. Tell us something fresh.
We need to interview him. I love doing that.
If we start reading the news, the room's going to kind of come down a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
Are you
pretty
kidding
much.
me? No, y'all.
I know there's plenty to make fun of.
The other night. Oh my goodness.
I want to hear another crackhead breaks into your house story.
You want to hear another of my neighborhood stories?
Yes, let's go for it.
Don't
Okay.
dox yourself,
Look,
but
put
just what
her
part of a
up
country
there.
do we not
Oh
want
yeah,
to
I
move
forgot
to?
about that.
Yeah.
Don't move to California, but everybody knows that.
Okay.
Okay, so
Right.
Southern California particularly is a little sketchy, and let me tell you why.
My daughter was just out there. I told her not to feed the homeless, or they'll come home with you.
Yeah,
They'll follow
you
you
never
home.
know.
Follow you home, right?
Yep.
The expert says they got baby legs and they stand low. You got to pick them up just to say hello.
Oh God.
Did they go peep peep peep?
Only when you try to talk to them.
All right, come on, Divinity. Tell us a
Okay,
story.
I'm sorry.
Tell us a story.
Okay, so I'm driving home one morning from getting coffee, and there's a guy standing in the middle of the road. Not standing, he was walking. But you know when you drive by somebody and they usually like, oh, there's a car, you hear him and they move. He didn't. He just stood in the middle of the road. So I went around him, and when I looked at him, he gave me the like fuck off look. I'm like, oh, he's having a bad morning, right? But it was so close to a school, and I'd never seen him before. And I was like, you know what? I should just call and make sure that the resource officer. I Karen'd him. Okay, so I was like, I'm gonna call the police, but I didn't call 911. I just called the police station. I was like, hey, I gave him a name and I told him about the guy, just so they would. I thought if something bad happens, I'm gonna feel bad for not calling.
Yeah,
since I
it
was
won't be
thinking
your
about
fault.
it.
Right.
So, I go home and I'm on the phone with my sister, and I hear, I hear like gunshots, and I'm like, what's that? And I go out on my back porch and I see a guy far away, like he's maybe like, I don't know how far away he is, maybe like 3 football fields. And so I can barely see him. He's only like an inch big. But I could tell he's just standing there, and he looks like a sheriff. It looks like he's wearing brown pants and like a colored shirt. And I was just like, what is he doing? So I'm like, I'm going to go get my binoculars. So I come inside. I went to grab my binoculars, and when I grabbed them, I hear shooting again. And I'm like, what the hell? So instead of grabbing the binoculars, I went to get my phone because our best friends with the cops. I already talked to him today. So I called them back, and I'm like, it's me again. And there's somebody shooting. And as I go outside, like the guy gets in his van and he starts hauling ass down the street, meets up with another car. They both turn around and like start driving away. And I'm on the phone. I'm like, oh, they're driving away. So now they call in an active shooter for
Yes.
like all the schools.
Slightly taller than Nerd.
And that's
You're
basically it.
interrupting the story.
I get a call later from the animal control, and they're like, did you call us about a dog bite, a vicious dog bite? And I'm like, no, I called about shooting. I guess the dog was biting somebody that was running by, and the guy had to put his dog down. And so that's what the shooting was about. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then 2 weeks later,
I would have called animal control when you saw the guy in the middle of the road. Just like have them come by and pick him up. Sorry, go ahead.
So, like 2 weeks later, I'm on my front porch and I hear what I think is a car backfiring. And I look where the sound is coming from, the street over, and there's a truck driving by, and I realize he's shooting. And I'm on the phone with my sister, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was shooting, but I'm not calling the cops. I called them already. It was something stupid. There's no way there was another shooting in my neighborhood, a drive-by. Like, yeah, right. So I don't call the cops this time. And about 5-10 minutes later, like all these cops show up in my neighborhood. I'm like, oh. And so they were there for like, I don't know, an hour. They leave and they all kind of circle the block and go by my house on their way out. And so I walk out there to like flag them down, like what the hell is happening? And one of them passes me, 2 of them passes me. the third one goes to pass me. I'm in the road, like they're waving at me like I'm a 5-year-old, like appreciating them. I'm like, fucking stop. Don't wave at me. So I get one of them, just the last one to stop. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, was there a shooting? Because I heard shooting. He's like, yep. I'm like, okay. And so it's just not serious. He goes, it's very serious. I'm like, okay.
It just happens all the time.
And he just drives away. And I'm like, okay, what am I? Okay, I don't know what to think. There's been 2 shootings. That one was like a guy, I guess.
Slade.
It was just a neighborhood
See you
thing.
later, Slade.
Good night. So yeah, my neighborhood kind of not good, I guess. Crackheads and shootings.
Oh yeah, Night Slade.
Yeah, they don't go together.
Yeah, that dude. We had that problem after a hurricane a couple years back. The police said on the radio, like, we can't get to you. If there's a shooting or something, or someone's stealing something, shoot them. We physically cannot get out to you. Because there was so much stuff on the road. We had trains that were literally blown like 50 feet off the railroad tracks onto the highway, blocking the highway.
Do criminals take advantage of that? Is there a lot of like
there was
looting?
a lot of looting.
Oh, wow.
Hurricane Katrina's, it was on the news all the time.
Is that because people have left their homes? Or just because there's no police to get called?
No,
both.
Mixture of both, yeah. I live on a lake, and I could hear the neighborhood across the lake. Every so often you hear a couple of shots. But
even any cop will say that when what is
natural disaster like that.
No, it's what's the freaking saying? Now it's on the tip of my tongue. When seconds count, I'm only minutes away.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I checked Google Maps the other day. I was thinking just that. It's 23 minutes from my house to the.
Good night, expert.
Later, expert.
See you, expert. Yeah, we all said good night to the other guy.
From my house to the sheriff's office, and 24 minutes from my house to the police station.
Good night to the expert.
So that's going to take them 45 minutes to an hour to get to my house.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, I'll shoot.
That's one of the things about, and if the more the constitutional carry gets adopted by more and more states, which makes me happy. But that's one of the things about having a carry license is, in an emergency situation like that, you can openly carry something like a weapon that lets people know that you are armed. You know what I mean? If you're walking around with something like the big bad black AR-15. If you're walking around with something like that on your shoulder during an emergency situation, that's part of what having that carry permit is for.
Mm-hmm. That's why I love Florida.
I really like Florida too. You got a good thing going on down there.
And we got a badass governor who don't take shit from nobody.
You know what the part about that, which it's a love-hate thing in this, is that it seems like we're only going to see that guy once in a blue moon, and nobody is going to learn anything from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the biggest fan of Trump as a person, but I am a fan of what he represents. Is just, if anybody out there could just show a little bit of the stainless steel spine that they're supposed to have in order to do this job and represent the people, then great. You know what? Will something please rub off and affect the rest of the people that are quote unquote leading things here?
I was watching a clip the other day. It was Trevor Noah on Colbert, and it was right after.
Jeez, that sounds like incest.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And he's like, and Trevor Noah said something I actually agreed with. He said, no matter if you like Trump or hate him, he delivered on what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's really not. It's one of the things that, I mean, I raise my kids to be like, you have to be on time. You have to do, don't just say shit. You actually have to do the stuff that you say. There's so little of that going on in the world that just being able to do that one thing puts you heads and shoulders above everybody else who's trying to make a living or trying to contend with the world. If you could be counted on, just being able to be counted on.
I had a teacher.
How else are the rhinos going to make their money?
my theater professor, he was talking to the upcoming students, and he would have a couple of his older students come in and just tell him about the program. And he was talking, and he was like, he points at me, he said, and him, I know I can count on him with anything. I could ask him to run to the cafeteria to get me a drink, give him $1, run to the cafeteria and get me a drink, and he'd do it happily.
Yeah.
And I had a teacher in high school.
I'm sorry, RJ's like, we have a cow farmer who sticks his finger in the, and then I read the rest of it, like, oh, that's not funny.
No, but it's true.
I mean, when you first thing you see is we have a cow farmer who sticks his finger in something, I was thinking it was more like,
But I had a teacher in high school.
That's how I read it too.
A teacher in high school. He had a saying, and he drilled this into our brains. He said, "If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't even show up."
Yeah, I've heard that one too. Like a lot of people who do, preparedness the way that they think is, 1 is none, 2 is 1. You always have a backup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like where some businesses aren't like that. You'll have downtime on a machine. The only reason you've got downtime on the machine is because you didn't have extra fuses over here, or that part that always breaks down there were not extra of.
Oh, I have a book for you.
Oh, yeah, maybe I read it already.
The Goal.
No,
Eliyahu. Yeah, The Goal.
I love
Eliyahu
that.
Goldratt.
I love Undercover Boss. It's one of my favorite shows. And there was one for a call center company. And
Dude, that's not The Goal.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah,
A process of ongoing improvement.
You would like it.
Let me see if they've got it in. I do some of that self-help stuff. I got away from it for a little bit because after a while it's like
It's
one
actually
book.
It's not self-help.
Well, I don't mean it like that, but
Yeah.
it's self-education.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. And so if they've got it in if they got an audio book, then I'll definitely go
bookmark
for it.
that and look at it. Well, later.
Turn it into a graphic novel with comic books.
You
like
could actually. You could.
I read one. There was a dental technician.
Would you put it to me too?
The Goal?
It's a book. It's called The
book,
Goal,
right,
a process of
right.
ongoing improvement.
Yeah.
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 If you think about it.
I'll put it on my Discord.
Thank you, Diva.
Yeah.
Anytime, Solly.
It's
Anytime.
just, with
I'm
me,
here to enlighten.
when I'm on the job, I'm on the job. I don't like standing around because, one, it makes the times just crawl to a snail's pace. And 2, it's like I don't feel like I'm giving a fair amount of work for a day.
Yeah, there's you'll feel like you're stealing. Now
Yeah.
there's that, and then there's other. On the other hand, don't take the things, those little fringe benefits. Don't take those little things away from me that help me get through the 8 hours because I don't want to be there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me have my earbuds.
So Koolfrogg, the news today. What's going on with that?
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Wait,
I mean, that'd be awesome to hear.
Did you get the conch? Do you have the conch?
I think
Yeah, talking
everyone
like
here is really interested in that.
Kavanaugh
I
almost
sat
got
around-
killed.
I
Y'all
sat
hear about
around and
that?
did absolutely no
Wait,
news
Koolfrogg.
research
Who-
whatsoever.
This is like a classroom.
Zero.
Koolfrogg.
No research on anything.
Yeah, they sat around in
You
Discord and
gotta
watched
know what
cartoons all
today's
day.
news
No, I'm not giving
is.
up my show for
You
tomorrow.
gotta know what today's news was.
Add to wish list.
Did something happen?
Can you tell us about shootings? How many
Divinity
shootings?
knows where I was.
Yeah, watching cartoons.
Am I allowed to speak?
Hey, tomorrow
Koolfrogg on
is
this, or
is
you wanting
prime
to say
time.
that
I
everything?
bet America's has a lot of good news.
Yeah,
the
tell
only
us
thing
the
I really
news.
watched was some Congress stuff earlier.
Well,
Where they're
it's
trying
not
to pass
exactly-
bills. Did they pass bills through the House?
It's not your turn.
Yes. Are you talking about that anti-gun?
Oh, it's always my turn.
You're talking about the anti-gun stuff?
I didn't remember if that was. I don't know.
Are you talking about the anti-gun stuff?
Is my microphone
No.
working?
Okay.
No.
Because there's always a bunch of that stuff passing the House. Somebody's
It won't get past the
breathing
Senate.
pretty hard.
Hello?
Who?
Who's trying to swallow their mic?
What happened in the news today?
Oh well, I don't think it was today. I think it was actually yesterday, and I didn't catch up on it. Putin gave an interview and said that if NATO continues with their BS, I'm paraphrasing here. If NATO continues with their BS, he may have to nuke one of NATO's major cities.
What?
Which one do you go after first? Poland?
I think that's what's in his
Lithuania?
mind is Poland. And we talked about this before with Ukraine being sort
He
of
said nuke.
split up. And then
Okay,
Poland is
so-
kind of the Polish people talking about actually taking some of the eastern portion, well, not eastern, western portions of Ukraine now, that Ukraine is sort of collapsing in on itself to a certain degree.
Don't know who this is. This is the camel's toe.
Somebody just changed their audio settings a little bit ago. Switch over to a different mic or plug something else.
How are you doing?
That must be expert.
What are you beautiful people doing?
What the hell was
Try
that?
not to go deaf now.
Have you converted to Islam?
AK-47s for everyone.
Oh my god.
You're at about a 13. We need you at about a 6.
I can't control the volume on my thing.
He's getting there. Hold on.
That's not the first time I've heard that.
I know. I need to put a safety on the sucker.
Oh, that's sounding much better.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you. I don't know how that happens. I don't know why it's different. What are you guys talking about? There's a lot of stuff going on here, and all of a sudden I heard Sully say, "Can we talk about the news?" And I was like, "Oh, this sounds exciting. Can I join?"
He came to save us.
ID has a holster for his cock.
What?
ID has a holster for his cock.
Oh,
I can't believe you guys missed that.
And I have the wedding ring to prove it.
Yes, yes, that's a whole big thing from the other day. He's saying like he has a holster for his very own cock. And I was like, that's interesting. I have a book called 51 Ways to Eat Cock.
That's right.
We're gonna rehash it. We're gonna look at.
Reminds me of a song.
Slade Raider, RJ, one of you come in here. Fill the room up for me.
Thought Slade went to Betty Buys.
Yeah, he's smart. He's smart. I guess it's a he. Could be a she. I was supposed to be in Betty Buys.
I don't know. Sometimes they don't go to Betty Buy when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And they never do. Sully, her avatar was spinning like a Mayport stripper. I was like, this is awesome. This must be what it must be like to watch me.
I'm having flashbacks. I'm having flashbacks.
Hang on, like what kind of stripper?
A Mayport. There's
Yes.
two major naval bases in the United States, Mayport and San Diego. So when you leave the Navy, you get dropped off in one of those two places. So that doesn't
Where's
anything about
Mayport?
in Florida, outside Jacksonville.
Man, I don't want to go to Florida.
You really don't.
Jeez,
Not in
Diva.
that area. I want to go.
Awesome.
Like I want to go to the beach.
I'm at the
My
beach.
new channel.
RJ got yelled at by Kane. Oh my gosh. I would love to hear that one. You guys
Like
gotta
the
read
real
chat.
Kane? Like
Yes.
bong, bong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kane?
He's our county mayor.
Oh my goodness.
He terrifies me.
That's impressive. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's the only politician
My
that I've
thoughts
ever
of
been like,
him
nope, I'm
just
not gonna
went up
shake his
a little.
hand. Yeah,
I'd like to.
Like to what? Shake his hand?
Yes.
I bet you would.
You come to Knoxville, and we'll get that arranged. You can shake lots of hands. You come to Knoxville parade. I'll tell you what. There's going to be a parade coming up for the 4th of July. If you come up, we'll get you into it.
Yeah, we're supposed to visit an old smoky brewery or something like that when we go.
What's the date on that?
Oh.
That's bad. You told me that's bad to do
Oh, yeah,
that.
don't say
don't
that.
do that.
Make
Don't
a
do that.
reservation.
No, I
I'm
sent
sorry.
you. I sent you a DM. Told you when we were going to be there.
Okay, awesome. Well,
Oh
we
my
need
god, you guys
we
are
need to have
so
a
good
date.
at this.
No,
what?
I'm learning as I
What's
go. Well, here's the thing. First of
I'm
all,
sorry, I heard
if
the
I
Banshee. What I do
Yeah,
wrong?
dude, you're doing great.
if I happen
I
to
mean, it's funny. It
if
was
I
so
happen to
funny.
dox myself, that's
Being
one of
on
the
the
reasons I
Experts
have.
radio show.
Kind
No,
of
this is
have-
Koolfrogg's actually. Koolfrogg, you need
I just want to know what the
more.
Banshee had to say.
I was just
I hear
commenting that you're
Bob-
so
I don't
good
have
at this.
to.
Somebody almost said a date, and all of you were like,
Me
"No
too.
date," and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Why not a date?" And you guys just told me why not a damn date.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, these guys are awesome. They keep you in tune. It's absolutely awesome. If I hear Volstorm yawning, though, that's what's killing me.
No, it's not me. It's not
Oh.
me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who's
Let's see
yawning?
here. Well, it's
It's
not
me.
me, obviously.
It's me. It's 3 minutes until I explode. So
That's
I think,
awesome.
yeah.
She's been programmed by guava balls. You
I
catch
have.
that? Yeah, I figured that one out. It's like, guys, I gotta be off here at 11:30. What? Blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, 11:30, and it's off.
Yeah, just cut off.
I'll get whipped
Irish
again.
goodbye at 3.
I feel like you would need to have those clips from 24. You know, when it would go into commercials or something.
Yes.
They go bum 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 bum. You know, the countdown clock. We need that for the 3 minutes here. Anyway, so how are y'all doing? What's happening in the news? 2 humps or 1 hump?
3.
3 humps. Are there 3 humps?
That's the only way you can make it through 5 or 6 hours.
Lovely lady humps.
You guys want to share my screen real quick and tell me if this is true? No, you gotta get rid of the faces.
Yes, I
at the bottom.
can.
Yeah,
Do what?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
woman.
I get it. I get
was
it.
in front of you the whole time.
That's funny.
All right.
Why do I not get it?
Because
Well, because you're not getting it.
Spider-Man has web slingers. They don't come out of his costume like that.
No, it really actually has more to do with the position of those 2 fingers in the middle.
Yes.
The shocker?
Tinted the pink, nose of the stink.
The
Yeah.
2 in the middle. Oh man, I'm gonna have to teach everybody.
Yeah,
No,
apparently.
Who wants to
Please
go
don't.
first?
And you know,
God.
well,
Please
I am
don't
the hentai therapist, so.
That's right. That's awesome.
The hentai therapist.
She's
That's
actually
just-
doing a graphic novel of her own. She's going to bring the Kama Sutra to the 21st century.
That's right. It's going to be a whole other channel.
That's awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I
get
can't
my-
wait for I can't wait for the illustrations.
Yeah, I'll have to get my voice a little deeper.
Oh, you can get it deeper.
Just a little.
What's funny is when you go, you mean there's a name for that?
Oh, I know. I love that. That's the way we have the Urban Dictionary. All I know is I heard somebody talk about 1-inch man and needing binoculars, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here? You guys,
No, she
cut
said
loose in
binoculars. She said binoculars, not microscope.
Yeah, but you guys are
You
cut.
can't fall for that trap every time.
I'll tell you what, you guys cut loose, man. You guys are the craziest ones. If we're in a pond, there's got to be gators somewhere, right?
You're the gay?
Gator.
Yeah, gay.
He's the gator.
Well, this is a crocodile pond.
What was that?
Oh, I have
what's
Crocs
that?
on. It's a Croc pond.
Somebody just left.
Do what?
She does it. Right. Oh, she's a minute early.
She really did.
Yeah.
That's usually a guy's problem.
That's scary. No, it's never a guy's problem. Sorry, dude. Maybe we need to teach you something.
I said usually. I didn't say.
Sully.
I said
That's
usually.
That's what I heard.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't remember. Sully, why are you quiet?
Allegedly, folks.
Because if she's
I'm
quiet,
just
then I'll
taking
actually
it
say
in.
something.
I'm thinking, what?
Right.
She's
who are we
taking it in so
talking
she's
about right
quiet?
Everybody likes to
Yes,
be
I'm
quiet.
enjoying the show.
Oh,
I'm just
geez.
watching
Just listen
it.
to everybody else just talk. That's all that's needed.
So, Volstorm, what's going on?
You know, I was planning on going to bed, and just had on Koolfrogg in the background. And I'm like, damn it, I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep. There's too many people on here.
I'm so glad you did.
I love that. Did you hear it? She's tired. It sounds real. I'm so glad.
I'm so glad.
No, I'm sorry. I'm in it.
She's been taking too many hits from the bong.
Really?
I know. I
Yeah.
know. Y'all are passing around a bong there. I was like, what is going on with these people? Like, this is crazy. You guys.
You didn't get the little give me away pack.
You can hear that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We can hear everything.
It sounds delicious.
I heard the lighter. Yep, there we go.
I'm waiting to hear gunshots coming from Divinity in the background.
I have heard gunshots. Dude, the other night I heard gunshots. Well, I live also, like, people go shooting around here. It's usually not at night. The other night I heard gunshots, and I ran into my bedroom, and I'm like, I woke my husband up. I'm like, did you hear that? He's like, no. I'm like, dude, there's gunshots. So I walked back out to the back window, and I looked.
Confused.
As soon as I got to the back window, I heard it
About
again.
what, Koolfrogg?
Somebody left, and I don't know who it is.
They were never really here.
That's right.
Artie says, ask her she'll be drinking Friday night. She'll wake up quick. Sully, will you be drinking Friday?
Oh, that was right. She did answer that pretty
Oh, God.
She answered the question before the question was finished being asked.
If Sully's breathing, yes, or she will be drinking.
Oh, wow. She's that bad. I don't know about that.
Are y'all comparing this person to me?
No.
I was like, I don't think the timing's right.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Who was
I'm the top one. I'm the French fries.
Ooh.
Well, here's what's bad about it. That's a saturated fat, and there's a waffle.
I see that she's like, she probably eats a lot of that kind of food.
That's not real.
Is there a muffin on the top
I'm a
right?
fool for that glass of sugar sitting in the center.
That could be a diet drink.
I'm still doing good.
Well, there was Koolfrogg, there was AmericaShirts, there was, this is bugging me now, there's, pet therapy. Who was that?
Diva?
Oh, it was Diva.
No,
Yeah.
because Diva's right next to pet therapy.
She's still here?
No, Diva left.
Oh, Diva left, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I went back. So I
You
could
guys
see.
talk about me not paying attention to the chat. You're not paying attention to people in the damn stream.
And not only that, she told you she was leaving.
I'm like, who left? and why?
I have an excuse. I'm on the 13-inch screen. I got multiple tabs. You got one thing. You got people in your live stream, and you don't even know if they're there.
You had one job.
You had one job, man.
Dude, if
I'm
you're a
terrible.
lifeguard-
Like, seriously, I just realized tonight I can't tweet and listen and talk at the same time.
That's hilarious.
I can't.
Oh, it's a
multitask.
middle thing?
Yeah, well, I'll have to concentrate on one or the other.
Yes.
and I'll hear people talk. I'm like, well, what are they talking about now? Because I was trying to formulate the perfect sentence.
RJ, is because Koolfrogg uses Restream, which sounds like retreading. I can't say that, can I, on YouTube? They get upset.
No, you can't.
You're not allowed to use what?
Well, you know how when you're driving like a diesel and you take your foot off the gas and you retard the engine to slow down?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, anyway.
You can't say that? I need to get a notepad.
You need a notepad. I keep a notepad right next to my
Yeah, me
computer.
too.
There's just certain things that you just can't. You have to be nice.
That's not mean. If somebody
You have to
actually
tell
has
their
that.
truth.
Oh, are you allowed to have that? I'll remove that.
You have to tell their truth. If you don't tell their truth, then they don't like it.
But what if you seriously think someone has a mental defunk? You still can't?
As long as they're not,
seriously?
Well, you can't. Why would you call them that if they had that?
Because it's what it's called.
Because it's what it's called. Yeah.
It's a technical term.
It's what it's
a
called.
diesel engine. It's how you
So then why haven't you told me this yet?
You know, there's a really good piece of stand-up by Dana Gould, and the name of the album is...
You haven't called me the name yet, so...
I Know It's Wrong. And the last joke on the record is I Know It's Wrong. and it's about that word.
RJ wants to know why the expert.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
because
but
he's
it's
always
because
yelling.
Restream is look. I can't control my mic on Restream. Look at how big it gets. I feel like it's prom night all over again.
It is. It's amazing. It's
always prom
an
night for you,
energy.
Sully, isn't it?
The fun one is the
It
camel
is.
kind of turns around every once in a while.
That's awesome. Sully, were you the prom queen, or like a homecoming queen, or anything?
Are you kidding me?
I meant you were all those things. You were probably a cheerleader, weren't you? I can't believe I've never asked that.
Of course I was.
Yeah, of course. I bet there's not an
My
extracurricular
dream was
activity
to
you
be
didn't
for
do.
the Dallas Cowboys.
That is awesome. You too. I've always wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. True story.
Don't
Ballstorm and I
care
know a
how
guy
big
who
it
was a cheerleader for the Tennessee Titans.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty huge.
Did I just
It's our only claim to fame.
No, it's not.
Okay. There's 6 stories, but we're not going to tell them tonight.
We must look. We need to have a share your
Tell
story
one.
night.
Yeah, it's called Friday Night Live.
Okay. Well, somebody's got to help me organize it. I threw it in there, and then it was like falls apart.
That's the beauty of it.
Oh my God.
Everybody's quiet now.
No, I'm sorry. Just
Well, because he said, "Oh my God."
I started doing the thing that I said I was no good at, and
What's that?
I got onto Twitter.
You got into Twitter. Yeah, I've been scrolling through Twitter for a while.
There's a post under Tara Strong's thread. She's a voice actress.
Oh,
And she did the voice for this character, and she was putting something out there about the creators of the character, and somebody said, you're not Raven, you just voice a character, whatever. And a couple of she's like an anti-gun advocate, and a couple of
Do you have nudes of
replies,
her?
huh?
You have nudes of her?
No.
Oh.
A couple
Check
of replies. A couple of replies down, there is somebody who has like their name is whatever. They're like it's like a trans person and whatever, and somewhere in their name is the word guns. And this is like the last person in the world you would want to see with that, because you're like, oh, I understand. You're going to turn yourself into the thing that everybody's complaining about us not, this legislation happening now. Like
Right.
you're the guy.
Right.
You're the exact archetype, and I just find it hilarious that that's actually in the thread of somebody who is like a super anti-gun advocate.
Hey, I think I know that guy on the left.
The one on his phone? Is he texting you?
No, he looks exactly like a guy I know. He lives in Dallas.
Diva's still with us.
You know what? I'll put it in the Discord. You guys can see it for yourself. It's just messed up. Sorry.
So the nudes are in Discord?
Oh, hello, level-headed.
Yeah, are there nudes?
No, there's no nudes. Although I mean, she's not.
Dub it, Diva.
She's not unattractive, but no.
Level-headed.
Diva's having a hard time getting out of the building.
Level-headed, go hit that link, man. Come in here. There's plenty of room.
No, it's a cry for help.
Levin needs to get in here. I'll leave. He can take over.
No one's taking over.
Did you hear that?
Go, Diva.
Did you hear that? Oh
Go
my
towards
God.
the light, Diva. Towards the light.
What?
Oh my gosh, Divinity's
For 2
awesome.
minutes. Thank you. In 1990, our schools became gun-free school zones. And on September 6, 1990, when I was 16 years old, my
Everyone
high
has
school
nudes of her.
went on
What did you do with
lockdown
her?
because one of the students at my school brought 3 guns to school in a duffel bag on the school bus, brought the guns into our school, and proceeded to take control of our high school. And he was the only person in the school that had guns. That's why that happened. There was no one to protect us that had a gun that day. The only person with guns was the very mentally ill, upset teenager who had brought guns to school that day to kill other students.
Illegally.
I know that fear. As a matter of fact, I think I'm the only member of Congress that that's actually happened to. And I'm also a mom. I've dropped off my kids at school for years, wondering, would this happen at my children's school? Would they face a terrible fate like the poor children in Uvalde? This should never happen to our children. And I can't help but to point out to all of us here, while we're debating how to protect our kids in school and what we're debating about our Second Amendment gun rights, I want to point out that we're all so privileged to be in this building being protected by armed guards with guns who are protecting our lives. And I find it shocking to me that this body of Congress won't do the same thing for children all over America in
Word.
schools. Because we know one thing works. We know that a gun is a tool, and it's a weapon that can be used to defend yourself or defend others. And we're all lucky enough to have that privilege.
It's
But
a
our school
cordless hole
children
puncher.
aren't. If we really want to be serious about protecting our kids
This is a
here in
long
America,
joke.
we'll repeal the gun-free school
Where's the
act,
punchline?
and we will put
I'm
into
lost.
action real legislation that protects children everywhere, all over America in school, with good guys with guns, the same way we're being protected. I yield back.
She doesn't tell very good
Margie
jokes.
Taylor Greene on, just right on, perfect.
That's only like the 700th time I've heard that same speech from different people.
You mean she
Horrible
stole that
joke.
story from someone?
Everybody says it. They just repeat themselves.
What's a repeater?
What's a repeater? Diva knows where it's at. She got rid of me on purpose. Look at that. God, I love that salty queen. The flowing hair, the hardbound books.
Come back to the. Come back. Come back.
I don't know.
expert.
I don't want
Come
to.
back.
I don't
Come
want to
back
walk
with
into the
us. Come back with us. We'll take care of you.
light. One of us.
One of us. One
Everything
of us.
is all right.
That is really loud.
Is it still? I can barely hear it on my end.
Really?
Yeah,
It was like.
because you've blown your eardrums out.
No.
Listening to that.
Blowing
I mean, it's
salty
like
kisses.
400%. It's like me before Koolfrogg turns me down. I still don't even know. I can't hear myself.
I think the repeater is a new tennis shoe.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Well, was that not the topic? I mean,
Sully, I love you.
Sully, oh, you're so great. So, what is the rest of your plan, Sully, for world domination? And what do I need to do to help you realize that plan? See it come to fruition.
let me get back with you.
All right, we'll talk privately.
You got 2 days.
Forget about it.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, Koolfrogg, why are you so quiet? What's going on?
Why am I so quiet? I'm stoned.
Yeah, do you know I'll wake up to 10 minutes?
He's snacking.
He said he was stoned.
Oh.
Koolfrogg, you should do an
I'm being
interview.
quiet. That's like AmericaShirts. Nerd.
You should do interviews
No,
right
I'll just
now.
kind of listen to interview with
Ask a random question.
you. AmericaShirts, what do you think of Margie Taylor Greene?
Oh, well, spot on, of course. I
You
mean,
have
that's
nudes of
that's
her
the
shirt?
that's the same thing that everybody already knows. I mean, they're protected with guns, and yet you can't protect children. Protect their money with guns. You protect their Federal Reserve with guns. You protect everything else, but you're not allowed to have rights.
How does
Well,
Bill Gates feel about it?
the question that should be being asked is not why are there mass shootings. The question should
I'm
be why are
sorry.
there
I'm
mass
sorry.
shootings in schools.
We need move on to the next question. Koolfrogg.
How
Do a
does
better
Bill-
question.
What is
Pants or no
Bill?
pants?
How does Bill Gates feel about it? Is what I asked.
No, this is for the next. Let's see.
Is it just me, or is there a ton
That
of
would
static?
be for Outpost.
I hear
The
it.
next
Same,
question's
same.
Outpost.
Nerd, what are you doing, man?
Just listening.
No, does anybody here think that that's a more accurate question? Not why are there mass shootings, but why are there mass shootings in schools?
Koolfrogg.
Oh, that's a simple answer.
No, and I don't mean because
It's gun-free zone.
not just that. There's a lot of gun-free zones, but
Oh,
do you think it has something to do with what people are being taught there?
Are boobs really not
So,
asymmetrical?
Nerd, why do you think they bring actors out to
Are they
actually-
not easy to watch?
Are boobs
Who's
really not
got their
asymmetrical?
volume up? What the hell?
Man.
You give me volume again.
Somebody's having an issue with their microphone.
Boobs.
Yeah,
Something.
boobs. Yeah, I want to talk about
Boobs are the best.
Yeah.
They come in pairs.
Boobs are awesome.
What are your favorite boobs?
The ones
I
in
like
front
them
of
all.
me.
Yeah. There you go.
No, I mean, they're a fabulous thing. Watching the female breast it's an art form within itself. Because if we
They're so
have seen
tasty.
enough of them, you start to realize that some women just don't know what's going on with them. They don't know how to handle them. They don't know how to, I don't know. It's like with puppies. They don't know how to
Sure.
take care of puppies.
Exactly.
And it's
see
some
it.
of them there's too much stuff going
It's
on there.
logical.
There's stuff you shouldn't see. Sometimes there's not enough there. It's just it's really amazing, and it's the art of watching the boob is something that is very underrated. Am I alone in this?
Dude, I worked in a shoe store.
Agreed.
up
You know
in
what Jackie
America.
Martling said about
I've seen plenty of different boobs.
A shoe store. That sounds
Jackie
kinky.
Martling had said about
At a
the
shoe
boobs.
store?
You get down on the floor and you put the shoe on their foot, and they have to lean
boobies
over to actually
everywhere.
kind of grab at the shoe a little bit
Sure.
themselves, So I'm
I'm
just
gonna go on to
saying.
say
I've
this
seen
sounds
plenty
like
of
another
everything.
Randy Newman strike.
Had more boobs.
They get on the
than me.
floor to put the shoes on. They bend over. I mean, it sounded like you were singing what you were saying. That sounded poetic.
Boobs are like the train around a Christmas tree.
Those
It's
ones
meant-
that would come in with the short skirts and ask you to put the boot on their on their leg, you knew that they were looking for something else.
Are they looking, or are they asking you to look?
I'm just saying, you knew. You knew what they were looking for.
How do you
You're
know,
like,
though?
Yeah, how did you know?
Because they'd go and they'd pick up the long boot.
Yeah,
And
the
then they'd
fuck
ask
me
for
boot.
assistance while
You're not allowed to
they're
put
wearing
long
their
boots
short
while you're wearing a
skirt and
skirt.
You're, you're
Okay.
assuming a lot, Frog.
It's very
Do
fun.
you call them fuck me boots in the business?
No,
Okay, what do you call them in the shoe business?
it's just a boot, man.
Just a boot man.
Wow, that's the technical term.
I know.
It's a
I was
fucking
like,
boot. I don't call
yeah.
it shit. When it comes down to it, you just sell the product. You don't have to. It doesn't matter what it is. You'd be like, look at this. It has little frills. It has this. It has. Just sell the boot to them. Tell them that it has good support in there. They put their foot in there, and they're like, oh, that's comfortable. And they buy the boot.
no woman
And then they
cares
ask you
about
to zip that
support.
up for them all the way up their leg. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard Frog go?
Jeez.
They wanted
all the
the
way up their
frog.
leg.
Hey,
They
hey,
wanted the frog.
Frog, do you need a moment? I mean,
No, I'm just.
that's pretty
He's
graphic.
not quitting his job tomorrow. That's for
No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, I bet he's the first to check in.
I
and last to
heard
leave.
I heard him talk about something about honey and meat drizzle or something.
Yeah, tell me about that again.
Last
I
time.
think that was the expert.
What?
What?
When you
No,
after
that was
I missed
you grill
this.
your
Was
food,
it?
because
Yes.
putting it in a pan is ridiculous. You got to grill it. So after you grill your meat, you cut it up, and you drizzle the honey on it, because honey's good for you, and the meat gives you protein. So, and kids like it. So
You're doing that?
Oh God!
You're doing that? You're eating that at your house? Somebody call CPS. Don't answer that, actually. As a lawyer, don't answer that.
What the hell did you?
I was just joking.
Honey?
Love it. I'm the camel toe.
I was just joking. That's how you make pemmican. Have you heard of something called pemmican?
No.
It's
I
like
mean, there's plenty of other things that you
old
want to
school
drizzle
meat.
honey on. Like boobs?
Yeah, that-
Oh my
What
God.
else do you drizzle honey on, Frog?
Boobs.
Always goes back to boobs.
Go back to boobs, man.
Oh my gosh. Who did we lose?
Shirts. He fell off.
The second time he came untucked.
Ah.
Start talking about boobs, he became untucked.
I've noticed that
I
when
was really hoping he'd do the what's his name? Gay.
Mute the toe, huh?
I noticed that whenever we've got a big old panel of us on here, Shirts, his screen time decreases. He either doesn't show up or, or he just takes off in the middle of the night.
Okay, I don't think you could get a word in edgewise tonight.
Probably.
I don't know. There's a long time he could talk.
We played a fun game last night.
Do you play Connect 4?
We'll see.
Why did it have to be Connect 4?
I don't know.
Because
Funnest
if it's not,
game you
if
could
it's,
think of?
if it's
Hollywood
not Connect
Squares.
4, it's a devil's handshake or something.
What? What's the devil's handshake?
What's that?
I don't know. What was that one called? The devil, the deal with the
Impressions?
devil with
Something
the...
about a tripod.
That's Koolfrogg. Wait, hold on. What are we doing about a devil's handshake? Is that like Ralph Macchio?
Yeah, no, I can't
Oh,
remember
no,
what was that called.
The Crossroads.
No, it's not a menage a trois because it's two guys. It's a devil's.
The Angels three-way?
Devil's three-way?
Is that what it's called? The devil's three-way?
Yeah, two guys and a girl.
What's
It's
the
Devil's
devil's
Three-Way.
handshake?
I don't
what's
know.
that
I was
one?
just trying.
I
I was trying to think what the hell it was called, and I was just coming up with.
Everybody knows
Whatever
Devil's Three-Way. That's common.
No, I just learned it tonight.
What?
I didn't know how to name.
Too.
Oh, yeah.
I've not
Oh,
heard
she didn't
that.
know it. Yeah, name it. She knew it existed.
I've known about it.
Yeah, see?
I heard about it before.
Yeah. She's from
Oh,
California.
I just looked up Devil's Handshake.
Okay.
Yes,
Enlighten
yes.
us.
Oh,
Do
wow.
tell.
Wow, even.
Oh.
Should I read it?
Spit
The
it
ball,
out.
the girl and the guy.
Yes.
When
No, let
one
Koolfrogg read
inserts
it,
all
please.
four fingers into
No,
a...
please. I don't
No,
want to hear it from you.
stop.
Yes, thank you.
Whoa,
No.
who is doing that?
I don't know. I
I
just
don't know
heard
who's
that.
doing what.
Was,
Buzz.
was that NASA? Was NASA breaking into our...
Yeah.
I mean, the
No,
NSA.
I plugged in. I plugged in my my iPad. That was me.
You plug something. Dude, when I plug in my Apple products, they don't have feedback.
That was an audio cable. I don't know. I'm gonna have to just get on like a stream with my brother and figure out why this is so loud, even though I've got it cranked all the way down on the mixing board.
Okay, so.
That's all.
No.
Hey, I made my thing. There's things that occupy my mind. I get distracted. Like, why isn't it working? I want to know why it's not working. I'm not going to spend money on something and then, not figure out how it works. Especially if it's going to be nothing but an aggravation to everybody that's listening. That's counterintuitive to the whole concept of what we're doing here, isn't it?
What?
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out why it is that I'm blowing everybody's eardrums
Why
out.
you're blowing everybody?
I knew that was coming. Like, you don't even let the double entendre hit the ground before you pick it up and run with it.
Oh,
seriously, dude, you're pretty quick.
Okay, he's pretty quick. But here, let's
He's
check
the
this out.
expert.
Check this out. So it says the devil's handshake. One inserts all four fingers into a woman's while simultaneously proceeding to enter their thumb into
So
the
here's what I have on
orifice
Devil's Handshake.
and begins to
my.
make a crude chopping
Oh
motion
my!
Hey.
to simulate a traditional handshake.
Oh, I get it now.
What I have is
No,
you take
that's not it.
lime juice, pineapple
Great
juice,
example.
That's like a pelvic
Sugar
bone
syrup.
thing.
Look at that.
tequila.
That's what
It's AmericaShirts.
Egg
Their
white.
shirts.
See, when you type that into Google, do you click on where it says?
I was always lurking in the background.
So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to
I
that.
have
word.
Sounds like she had done that before.
There's an example for the devil's handshake here, though, so you really need to listen.
I'll put it up.
It says, I gave Jennifer the devil's handshake last Wednesday, much to her delight.
Is that it?
That's it? We waited for that?
Yes.
said-
You waited for that.
It
That's how
wasn't
horrible.
part of it. He grabbed
You
her
waited
there.
for it. But, so what did he actually do? Do you remember what it was that he did?
Does he have a firm grip, or what's the devil about?
Yes, he grabbed
He
her
inserts
by the
all
pelvic bone.
4 fingers into
I'm
her
sure.
vagina while
was put up-
simultaneously entering their thumb
No, not on the stand.
into the stink.
So this person's
And-
left-handed. I think.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
No, I mean if you're laying face down, stick 4 fingers straight in there, and there's your thumb.
I'm gonna get
With
out
your
for
right
a while
hand.
Look at you
and
telling a chick
figure-
how to do
and
it.
Figure this out.
I mean,
Just
dude,
saying, just straight in. Either way, it doesn't matter what side of you're
we
standing
didn't get a
on.
chance to say goodbye to ID.
ID had to
I
go
have
test some
problems.
equipment.
Yeah. He'll be back.
It's not him that's having the issues. It's somebody else that's having an issue. So I really don't know who that is.
It's probably
He's the one
Somebody's
that plugged in the
staticky.
iPad and went.
Somebody's staticky all the time.
It may be me.
Yeah, you gotta play
It's
with
okay.
her mic to keep it straight.
So then it did actually go
I can't
on, and
believe I
it
put
says
that on table and nobody picked that up to run with.
there's,
I wasn't listening,
there's
I'm
a
sorry.
second suggestion to the devil's handshake, and it's when you greet your friend instead of hugging, shaking hands, or fist pumping, you quickly
Humping.
reach for their butt, insert your finger directly into their anus, gripping one cheek.
What country is
and
this?
This is a
shake
devil thing.
I'm
while
not going there.
seemingly a prank is actually a gesture of great closeness and intimacy.
No.
Yeah, try that. See how close and intimate that she thinks you are.
No.
Go for it.
I mean, obviously.
No,
Is
no,
this
no,
like
no.
a
You're
Jack
not doing
Murphy
it to
thing
a
we're reading
girl.
off here? Like, is this
You're doing this to your
I
best
bet
friend.
that's what Amber was doing.
This
That's
is a
what
best friend thing.
Turned his head.
I mean,
Sure.
bestest friends.
The closest, the closeness and intimacy of that
Get a little
particular.
closer.
I mean, you seriously just
Don't be
grab their ass and
She
stick
didn't
your
seem
thumb
to
in
be
their
bothered
hole.
at all.
Give it a good shake. So their example says across the busy bar, Marlon spotted his best mate, Rob, and quickly proceeded to give him a devil's handshake.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this sounds like a Jack Murphy thing. That's easy.
It did something for somebody.
Jack Murphy.
Oh
Yeah,
my lord.
There's a reason why there's no votes on these.
It continues.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just stop there.
There's so much more. Oh, man.
Read amongst
Okay,
yourselves.
there's only 2.
Quietly to yourself.
I like how ID came in, started this thing, and then now he takes off.
I know he started this.
I know he's sitting there listening to Hendrix tunes right now or something. Just be like, yeah, are you experienced? You know, huffing paint in his garage. He's out there having a good time. I wish I had some paint to huff. Glue to huff. Anything.
No, you don't.
Breathe really
That'd be
fast.
a terrible thing.
People
Don't do
need
that.
to start coming up with better names for their fantasies instead of calling everything the devil's handshake. Like this guy goes and sticks a funnel in the tip of his penis and
Okay.
pours chili powder in it, and then
Well,
massively
on that note,
till he blows it spicy. It's like,
yeah,
what?
okay.
Gross, man.
Get out
Oh, man.
Why
I'm out of here. See ya.
What the hell?
No.
Koolfrogg, what have you done?
I don't. I was
He's
asked the
getting some
question.
ideas.
Oh, we did lose him.
What have you done?
Ballstorm, I'll be there in a second. Love you guys. Enjoy the Devil's Night. Deuces.
See ya.
Okay, later.
Later, expert.
Sully, are you here?
Sully's here.
I'm gonna head out too on that weird, crazy note. Y'all, good night.
Bye. See ya.
Well, okay, later.
Later.
It's
Y'all
we're
asked the
15
question,
seconds away
not me.
from 2 hours, and just when it can get spicy, they left.
Right.
Oh,
we were just gearing up.
well, they're gonna-
We were
I
just
mean,
gearing
we've
up
been
for that
missing
2-hour
out.
mark, and now
They're gonna have to
They
come
just
back
missed out.
now
and listen to the replay. Let's talk about news.
there
Is
you
there
go,
any
America
news?
Shirts.
Like for
You're
real?
up, bud. 2 hours is up.
But like interesting news.
I mean, not really, other than the Russia thing that I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah. Did he really say he's gonna drop a nuke?
He said he might have to, or
He
something,
said
something
nuke.
to that degree.
Putin said it, I guess. He said he's pissed at at who?
At NATO.
NATO.
I mean, I could actually.
I thought.
I don't know if I want to play this now.
What do they
but-
do? Yeah.
No, let's end it.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. I agree.
Y'all have a great night.
Good night, Sully.
Later, Sully.
Night.
Later, Sully.
Night, Koolfrogg. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Night, shirts.
Later. Night.
she doesn't want to go. She wants to stay. She can. Did I help you with that?
Sure.
Ouch. Oh,
Oh, I see. It's the done button. Hang on. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
See you later. Divinity still wanted to go through the news?
If there's something.
Right, well, we can dig some stuff up, I'm sure.
Well, if not, we could do it
Being that
tomorrow night.
neither one of us had really paid it. We know what we
Yeah.
did today.
Nothing's happening in the world, I'm pretty sure. But I didn't know about the nuke thing. I do think that that's interesting. Oh my god, you scared me. Oh, that was scary.
Well, we're actually going to do a regular show tomorrow. This is not going to be an open thing every single day. It was today because of the stuff that had occurred. And obviously I knew it wasn't going to be a lot. And it was just going to be a shit around show. So I didn't really have anything planned.
It was fun, I think.
No, it was. So let's see. The hell, let's see what's Thompson 2 elections. You don't tear the place through, you lose. Horrible. Some Donald Trump stuff. We're going to be talking some Donald Trump stuff tomorrow, I'm sure. Or we're going to be talking some J6 stuff because it's Thursday. And
Prime time.
Right, there's supposed to be that prime time stuff going on. So, you know, some good stuff should actually come out of that. We should be able to have, hopefully everybody's paying attention. I don't actually work tomorrow like I was supposed to. I told them screw it. It's costing me more money than whatever, so I don't have a job. I'm fine with that.
Nice.
The kid gets taken care of then properly. Let's see. These 4 Democrats vote against parts of the gun package. This is the one I was paying attention to today, and I actually said something when I was talking in chat with everybody on what was going on because of this shootings in Buffalo, New York, and in Uvalde, Texas. They actually want to do some red tape laws. So this is the House that passed the Protecting Our Kids Act, a package made up 7 gun provisions and largely partly vote of 223 to 204. One Republican did not vote. The legislation is, in part, calls for raising the minimum age to buy a semi-automatic from 18 to 21, banning civilians from using magazines from upwards of 15 rounds, and bolstering safe storage of firearms where minors could access weapons. Two Democrats, Jared Golden of Maine and Kurt Schrader of Oregon, joined the most Republicans in voting for the full package, because, again, it said that one of the Republicans didn't actually vote. While a handful of individual provisions in the two bills before us have potential to garner bipartisan support, taken as a whole, the bills are not sweeping in their design and fall far short of the support necessary to become law and save lives. And obviously, because most of them know that that's not the best way to save lives. We watched the Marjorie Taylor Greene clip earlier. That she was wonderful. There's a couple other speeches that came out of that, and I didn't listen to them all because I actually went outside and went out into the sun because it stopped raining. So you do things when you can. Steiny Hoyer, Democrat of Maryland, says in order to replace Republicans on record on each of these issues relating to gun safety, I mean, so he's just like, we need to replace these guys because these guys are thinking against us. A bunch of jackasses. But they tried passing so many different bills today, and I'm pretty sure not a single one of them actually passed.
Well, turning to other news, it looks like Biden tripped up the stairs to Air Force One again.
Oh my god.
Oh, fun. Go
Play it.
clip that.
Let's see it. I'm going to hop off of here and hop into chat because I don't know anything about the news. I didn't see anything today.
Oh,
yeah, well,
either way. Whatever you want.
Was it easier if I don't?
You can stay here. It doesn't really matter. We're just messing around with the news. And it's hard to actually just go flip around through the news real quick. Biden nominee fails on the Senate floor. What's this? The Senate on Wednesday voted against President Biden's nominee for Assistant Secretary post to the Labor Department. Vice President Harris was unable to cast a tie-breaking vote. The upper chamber voted 51 to 49 for Lisa Gomez. She didn't get her Labor Department Employee Benefit Secretary Administration job.
Wait, why couldn't Kamala cast the vote?
Because the upper chamber did a 51-49, so that if she posted a vote for the Democrat side, she would only made it a 51-50.
It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. Somebody went up and voted against her on the Democrat side.
Good.
So here is Biden kind of slipping.
Spending the money that he has allocated to invest in police department. Has allocated.
Oh boy!
Allocated.
Oh
has
gee! Oh my!
Allocated.
Oh,
Has
it's just real.
allocated.
Oh,
Has
geez.
Legitimate
Oh
president.
God!
Allocated.
Most
He
votes
has
just
allocated.
touched
He
the
has
step. It wasn't
allocated.
foul.
He has allocated.
But it was enough to
He
actually
has
chip him.
allocated.
Man, I mean, it's just. Oh man!
Well, he was picking up a penny, a lucky penny.
Yeah, right.
To
And listen to her.
invest in police departments and
There's
training
a
of police
spot
officers.
of
It
bird
appears
shit,
as
and he's
though
like, "Ooh,
the
ice cream."
president did have a slight trip there as he's boarding Air Force One. Again, he's heading to spending the money.
Oh my God! And then look at this comment. It says that soon there will be an escalator on Air Force One. Yes, it'll be the Air Force Airborne stair lift, and he'll have to like sit down on the chair thing, and he'll like slowly turn
Hover
and
ride
then
or
go up the stairs,
Very presidential.
Yeah. It's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was just a little trip. I really don't see it being that big of a deal. I don't see anybody like really being like, "Oh yeah, I can clip that and make it."
It is. Because he was an asshole about Trump not being able to walk and stuff. So it's like, okay, you can run circles. You can't even walk up the stairs. He was holding on this time, and he's thinking, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I lived on the second floor of an apartment building for 2.5 years, and yeah, I never had an issue going up the stairs.
We never had Trump knocking golf balls to the back of your head either, so, you know. Who? What? I don't know.
Oh, so House passes a sweeping gun package, and largely they actually did pass something. What did they pass? Bipartisan group of senators.
Did they pass some gas? Huh. Because it is the House of Representatives.
They were both Polish.
I get the joke now. Note to self. It might be about the Holocaust.
Usually you can't talk about it too much on the YouTube side of it. But I know. Because some people have this thought that certain things just never existed, and I don't get it.
Like the Armenian genocide that Chank Yogurt likes to claim
something
that doesn't
about
exist.
this attempted assassination on Kavanaugh. Did you hear something about that?
Was
shit?
it
Oh
real?
yes, yes. They detained him.
How close did he get?
I don't think it was a matter of proximity. I think it was a matter of threat level. And they thought, and they saw him as a credible threat. He had a gun. I think he was out in, on the street with threats
Where does
already
Kavanaugh
made,
live?
going
In-
towards his residence. I guess. I think he's moved out of his residence though, where he normally is. I think all the Supreme Court justices are at this point, except the liberal ones, because they're safe.
You could put in KAV and it comes up straight away with Kavanaugh assassination attempt.
I feel like you have to fire a bullet or something for there to be an assassination. But,
Armed men traveled to Justice Kavanaugh's home.
Oh, yeah. But he wasn't at the home.
That's New York Times, so I can't really read it. I have to actually go to one of these other sites to see if I can't. By the left's own standards, they were complicit with Kavanaugh's assassination plot. That's Fox News. We like Fox News. They're funny. Some of their news can be okay. Some of it can be kind of cringe.
Everyone's making money.
Our president famously said, "I'm not a mind reader. I can't predict what will happen and what people will do." Well, Mr. President, you don't have to be a mind reader to predict what happened today, when a left-wing lunatic flew across the country to try to assassinate Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. But was he just following orders? Remember what Chuck Schumer said?
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you.
Was that incitement, Chuck? We'll get to that in a minute. Today, police arrested 26-year-old Nicholas John Roski at 1:30 a.m. He was carrying a bag with a Glock 17, a tactical knife, pepper spray, zip ties, a hammer, a screwdriver, a nail punch, a crowbar, duct tape, and hiking boots. Sounds like he wanted to take him out into the woods. Well, it came close to that, until he got cold feet when he saw U.S. Marshals with arms guarding Kavanaugh's house and called the cops on himself, telling them everything. He says he was furious over Roe v. Wade possibly being overturned.
Of course he's furious over Roe v. Wade being overturned. There's a lot of people that are, because they're just like, oh no, I can no longer just go mess around and wait till
Remember
later
the
to
leak?
take care of it.
And was looking for purpose in his life. So he found that purpose by going out and trying to kill a Supreme Court justice.
He called the
You
cops
think
on
that idea
himself.
just popped into his head?
What the hell's happening?
People are sick, mentally sick. That's what's happening.
Or did the orders come all the way from the top?
I know that there's an outrage right now, I guess, about protests that have been peaceful to date,
the way back from
and we
last
certainly
month.
continue to encourage that outside of judges' homes, and that's the president's position.
The White House encouraged protests outside the home of Supreme Court justices.
Which is a
Whatever
federal
happened to
offense.
Words matter.
It
It
is.
is?
We went through
Federal
this. Yep,
offense.
it's a federal offense to actually do so.
Why?
Because you're not allowed to go after a judge or a jury, for that matter, when they are making a decision for the outcome of a case. You're not allowed to disturb them, and you're not allowed to harass them or anything.
But
That's
is the
again.
harassment the same thing as a... Huh. I didn't know that.
I mean, it's just like, like if a jury, like you can't just call off, like
At
follow
their
a jury
house,
member
maybe, you
home
mean?
to their house. Well, yeah, at their
Yeah.
house, like at their residence, at their, I mean, like if you're in the public square and they're in the Supreme Court and you're standing outside, like, yelling at the top of your
Yeah,
lungs at a
okay.
fence or whatever, like, well, I mean, who the hell cares? Like, it's at the middle. But like when you're going to their home and you're following them and you're harassing them and there's threats and there's all the, I mean, like you can't just haul off. I mean, you can't do that to normal people,
And
let alone.
specifically, you can't protest. Well, but like you could protest. It's all right to protest, but it specifically can't do it if it's a judge.
Yeah, like if a judge
I mean,
is in their home,
the thing
you
is
can't just
if-
follow them back to their home while they're in the middle of
Ruling.
making
Yeah.
a ruling. You are impeding on a
Intimidating.
ruling. Yeah, you're intimidating the judge. You're intimidating. That's just like intimidating a witness in a case, or intimidating the
Mhm.
jury to sway them to do whatever you want. Like this is violating the justice system.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
is that why the
federal
judges
offense.
aren't at their houses right now?
Yeah, that's why they had to leave.
Right.
Because there were so many
Ever
threats
since
and
the
everything.
leak?
And the thing is if something doesn't happen soon enough for the left to actually take one of them out somehow, some way, or something to happen to one of them so that they can refill the seat, they're going to go to the extreme and they're going to make it 13.
Yeah.
Dang
They're gonna
well that's
try.
what they're going to do. Right.
RJ63 says it's the 26th story on CNN's website. Lol.
The 26th story. That's horrible.
Well, it is CNN.
The Pelosi thing?
So by the left's
No, I think
own
he's talking
stand-
about this. Oh, unless he's continuing on from what he was talking about.
How long
Pelosi's
was it?
holding on to
3
the funding
minutes?
more security for the justices and passed unanimously in the Senate. I mean, federal crime
Yes.
protecting outside of Supreme
Yes.
Court justices as many judges' homes. I mean, it should be, and they're just as well as the one guy that was caught was outside the judge's home in Minnesota during the taser ladies thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he just so happened to be something to do with being the cousin of G. Floyd. He was actually sitting outside that judge's home, and he got in trouble for doing so. So yeah, I mean it's always been any judge, for a Supreme Court justice to be any different is kind of ridiculous. They should actually have.
So,
at
like,
least
that's a big
one
deal
bodyguard.
that whoever just said to protest and that was Jen Psaki.
Yeah.
This is kind of a big deal for her to say the president supports the protesting outside of these judges'
Yep.
homes.
It is.
Yeah, that's wild. I
That's
didn't realize
sanctioned
that.
by the Biden administration to go after the judges and commit
See,
a federal
that's
offense.
something that I want to post because that's things that blow my mind like that, where it's a blatant in your face. I don't think people see it. It's like, I didn't know that was bad. You think, oh, it's a protest. You're allowed to protest. It sucks that he followed him home. It maybe because they're like all the things that I said, and then to see that it's absolutely not okay. It's never been okay. It never will be okay. And then the White House from the podium is saying, we support this. It's like, what the fuck? I don't think it was another V.
V.
I think it was another attempt.
That could be interesting. Should we listen to what he had to say?
Standards, they're complicit. They argued that Trump's speech on January 6th was a criminal act because it incited a riot at the Capitol. So in this case, by their own standards, the White House and the Democrats in Congress practically endorsed the hit. So, what did they have to say for themselves? Well, the president turned his back and he said nothing. His press secretary put out an email. And Attorney General Merrick Garland gave this canned response.
Obviously, is behavior that we will not tolerate. Threats of violence and actual violence against the justices, of course, strike at the heart of our democracy. We do everything we can to prevent them.
Okay, Merrick Garland.
This guy is horrible.
He's like this
So
little
hard to
wimpy
listen
weasel, and he,
We tried doing that episode where we actually listened to a lot of the stuff that came out of him, and that was rough. Like, this guy is ridiculous. I don't think he was too serious. I don't think he was serious to see it through. Just another setup to try to intimidate. Called police on himself.
Interesting thought. Perhaps.
There's a question mark after that. Called police on himself?
Himself?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying, is there a little bit of Fed boys? Some Fed boys going around. Fed boys.
Yeah, and it's the only thing that really makes sense. It's like, oh, look, there's cops. Darn, I better call them and tell them. Like, you could just turn around and walk away and be like, whoop, never mind, tomorrow or never or whatever. But to call the cops, it's like we need to let Brett know he's about to kill his ass.
And to hold people who do them accountable. For that reason, last month,
his whole thought.
And Attorney General Merrick Garland gave this canned response.
You sure it's his thought?
Obviously, is behavior that we will not tolerate. Threats of violence and actual violence against the justices, of course, strike at the heart of our democracy, and we will do everything we can to prevent them and to hold people who do them accountable. For that reason, last month, I accelerated the protection of all the justices' residences 24/7.
Merrick.
We can't 24/7. Why not? I bet he doesn't stand trial. Just disappears back into society. Hopefully forgotten.
Let's guess what he was going to say. Hopefully forgotten. Those were potatoes.
Those who eat potatoes are
doomed to repeat it.
Yes.
Those which
exactly,
choose,
RJ.
And I bet he suddenly has plenty of money to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, that isn't such a stupid. That's such a stupid
He doesn't need
story.
money. He doesn't need money. He's part of this administration. He can do whatever he wants.
No, he's a patsy.
No, we're talking about
Merrick's not
the
all
assassin
in.
guy.
He had the
Yeah, me too.
Koolfrogg is thinking of the Merrick Garland, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
chance to arrest the protesters outside of Kavanaugh's house last month. But he didn't do it. Didn't fit the agenda. It's actually a federal crime to protest outside of Justice's house. And Garland let him break the law.
There you go. He just pointed out what we were saying. Exactly what we were saying.
Yep, Garland will put up, federal marshals to protect them, but he won't arrest the people that come there. So it is sanctioning the protest to intimidate them, even though the marshals are there, and of course they won't let anything happen
And of
to
course,
them.
we're just getting ready to go into this wonderful summer season, and you could imagine that almost anybody would be ready to actually get back outside and get back to their protesting of anything, because who knows what they're going to get paid to do it.
It is the liberal summer of rage.
And it's just before this election come up, so I mean it's going to be very interesting what could actually come out of all this.
Instead, they're setting criminals free every day. Those leftists who firebombed New York Police Department car during the Summer of Love, you remember, they just got handed a plea deal, and they'll be back on the streets in months. Hell, they even let the crazy guy who shot Ron Reagan out in jail, and he's going on a little redemption.
Ron, right? You could have actually just said Ronald Reagan.
Nobody could, him like that.
Right, this is your best buddy. You can call him Ron.
I've never heard anyone call him Ron, I don't think.
Thanks, Fox.
Except
for
his
dropping
wife.
The ball on that.
I mean, maybe.
She always called him Ronnie.
Fox
that's
loses
cute.
their appeal to me, is that they call people like that. I mean, seriously. I mean, I grew up in the age of Ronald Reagan, and I remember Ronald Reagan and music videos and whatnot. Oh my God, it was so much fun. His speeches, tear down that wall, all of that. It was just great. Yeah, I aged myself.
Yeah, you aged me a little with that story.
Tour. He's playing his little guitar now.
Oh, that way. Okay.
Just a mentally ill wannabe assassin in his guitar. It's no surprise people are trying to assassinate a Supreme Court justice. This is what happens when the left-wing machine lets criminals loose and targets their political opponents as evil. Because when someone is labeled evil, the ends justify the means. Remember, they called the guy a rapist, a Nazi, everything. And on top of that, you have a media just as complicit. Remember when the black nationalist who drove his car into a Christmas parade?
Excuse me, that was an SUV.
That was just the SUV. Exactly.
Yes.
It had nothing to do with that guy. What are you talking about? Oh my freaking Lord. What world do we live in?
Just like an AR-15 jumped into the school and shot a bunch of kids.
What the hell?
That's what happens.
Why did my screen jump? Now I gotta start all over
I
again?
don't know.
Mm-mm. That was an intervention from Jesus.
Trying to assassinate a Supreme Court justice. This is what happens when the left-wing machine lets criminals loose and targets their political opponents as evil.
Isn't
Because
that
when
like,
someone is labeled evil, the ends justify the
domestic
means.
terrorism?
Remember, they called the guy a rapist, a Nazi, everything. And on top of that, you have a media just as complicit. Remember when the black nationalist who drove his car into a Christmas parade? Or the Don
SUV.
Lemon follower who shot up a subway car? You don't hear a lot about that. Media doesn't cover that anymore. Those were one-day stories. And they're already doing it again. Earlier today,
Why is he
CNN
talking about
said
media in
this
the third
wannabe
person?
assassin probably didn't even have a weapon on him.
Because it's Fox News.
Even though their own reporting confirmed he was strapped.
You always have to question everything that
We
you hear
don't
in
yet know
mainstream.
what the nature of the threat was. We don't know
I
what
don't watch this
language the
shit.
threat was,
Exactly.
or what kind of weapon this man might have had,
That's why we watch
if he
it
had
here.
one at all.
Catch that at the bottom of the screen? Just as she's saying he maybe didn't even have a weapon, CNN knows he had a weapon. Do you think a MAGA guy showed up with zip ties and a Glock outside of the Wise Latina's house? They'd be spinning it this way? Of course not. These people can't
Whose
be
house?
trusted. And neither can the Department of
The
Justice.
Wise
What Merrick
Latina.
Garland said today
Sorry,
was
my
off the
eye.
shelf.
Random
How do we know
person?
that?
Oh,
You're supposed to know her?
Are coming back.
So did my eye.
Just as the wannabe
She's a Supreme
assassin
Court
was being
justice.
hauled away in
A
handcuffs.
Oh,
This
we
leftist
just know that's her nickname?
Ruth sent us tweeted this.
She is the member of the female version of Bohemian Grove, which is Belizean Grove.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, yes. There are several women in prominent positions that are a part of it.
You just tore this big, huge gash, and you need to actually fill us in a little bit more on what this is.
Ruth sent us. Well, it is what I said. It's the female version of Bohemian Grove. So pretty
what was
much anything they
interesting?
do over there, they do it with the women, because the Bohemian Grove is basically an all men's thing.
Mhm.
And so now they
All
have
of
a woman's thing.
all of their stuff is like an all. When Ghislaine Maxwell was on trial, and if you listen to some of like her deposition tapes, the when she was asked about certain things, like was this girl ever at the island, she was like, who? And gave her the girl's name, and she's like, nope. She was very matter of fact when it came to like women being there. It was sometimes if it was a guy, she would be like, maybe. But when it came to it, almost was like, wow, she's so certain, almost like it was a rule that no women went there. Like probably just little younger people.
No, Oprah Winfrey was there.
Hmm.
She took her own plane to those things. She didn't have to take the Lolita Express. She was like, no, sweetie. I'll take my own to go. Anyways.
Yuck.
As
Imagine
she
if
should.
Oprah Winfrey touched your.
But hey, she can go on to her
Touch my
show
what?
after she, butters up Michael Jackson when he's alive, and then she'll sit there and
Touch my
spew out
hand?
bullshit and
Touch
like,
my head?
oh well,
Touch my shoulders?
he's
All of
this
that.
and he's that and everything
Touch
else.
my-
When she's the one who goes to Jeffrey Epstein's island on her own private jet. So what the hell? Anyway.
Disgusting woman.
Yeah.
We're protesting peacefully at Kavanaugh's home again tonight. By the way, that's still against the law. Here's a shot of his house live. Even peacefully protesting outside of a judge's private residence, it's illegal. Protesters are supposedly heading over there right now. Doesn't look like anyone's going to do anything to stop this. Merrick Garland, are you listening? Right now, Nancy Pelosi's holding up a bill to increase security for our Supreme Court justices. It passed the Senate already, but Pelosi won't even put the bill on the floor for a vote. Do they want to stop these people? Do they? Or they just want to fuel the rise in left-wing violence? Dana Perino made this point on The Five today. If Garland doesn't arrest these protesters, if anybody goes outside Garland's house tonight, not Kavanaugh's house tonight, they're just as complicit. And it's clear Joe Biden has lost control of the left wing, or he's terrified of condemning them. His party...
That's what it is. That's what I think it is. He's terrified to actually condemn them. Because the second he does, he loses part of their platform and their vote. Everybody fall asleep?
And they're loose.
Maybe.
Not yet.
For the ones who have to deal with these wackos. But this is just the beginning. This summer is going to be ugly. That's why we have to get to the bottom of this. This could be a little criminal conspiracy that needs to be investigated, again, by the left's own standards. We might have to appoint a commission. We might have to hold hearings. We have a criminal leak. We have a group that's protesting outside the House. You have an attorney general that's not...
They should have started playing crickets right about that same time you started listing all this off. It would have been perfect.
Doing anything about this. You have a senator who's agitating. You have a White House who's giving this license. Maybe time to put some people in leg shackles like they did to Navarro. These people incited violence, possibly, and we need to hold them accountable if they did. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Liz Warren, anybody who has their hands on this
so does Biden. They
should
need to be
face
impeached.
consequences, again, by the left's own standards.
That would be the biggest thing. Even if they don't get him removed from office, it would take the talking points away from the lefties and from the left and the Democrats, and it would put it square onto the actual subjects of why the hell did Biden purposefully shut down energy production in the United States? And now not only are we reliant upon other countries, but now we can't even, like, oil is becoming even scarce. Like, gasoline prices are skyrocketing, and the supply chain is being disrupted, and all the rest of it. And then the baby formula stuff, and opening the border, and all of these things you could get him on for impeachment, and it would take all of that away from the left of like, oh, but January 6th, oh, but this, because nobody gives a flying flipping crap about that until, of course, you bring it back up again.
You know what I give a flying flipping crap about, which I find kind of interesting, is the list of stuff that this guy actually had. He was carrying a bag with a Glock 17, a tactical knife, pepper spray, zip ties, a hammer, a screwdriver.
Every crime. He was going to do all the crimes. Yeah.
Crowbar, duct tape,
glass cutter,
hiking boots.
Hiking boots, yeah. It was good. He's like, as soon as I pepper spray you, tie you up, I'm going to change my shoes to get you to the woods, they said.
Yeah, like, why the hell wouldn't he have it on?
Because he had no plan. The plan was, if I see a cop, I'm just going to call and tell him myself.
There you go.
What if
allegedly
so prepared he didn't know that the marshals were there? I can't say marshals for some reason.
Marshals. The marshals were there.
The marshal. Yeah, I hate that story.
I mean, just because it was Roe v. Wade, possibly being overturned, and that's the thing, is like, these people are like going out there and doing things, and every single one of them that's inciting something is inciting it from the left, and they keep on calling it the other way, calling us racist because we call it out, and it's like, well, it's what it fucking is.
RJ said Brandon doesn't know what year it is or who is president. I was going to say that when you said, is he afraid of the left or something else about the left? I was going to say he doesn't know who the left is. He has no idea what's going on.
Oh, because he's standing on the other side.
He doesn't know where the left is, like, in reality, like where is left and right. Like, he's just like, what? And then he just falls over himself. He'll like lose a limb and they gotta like stick it back on. They're like, okay, Mr. President.
Sounds like a false
exactly,
flag
RJ.
Prepared by the feds.
It's like Mr. Potato.
Yeah. He's like, what would you do if you were doing a crime? All of the crimes.
Right.
He was like, well, if he fights, I'm going to tie him up. If he doesn't fight, I'm just going to stab him a few times. But if he doesn't let me stab him, I'm going to shoot him a little bit.
I'm going to spray him in the eyes first, and then I'm going to go and,
yeah.
If he gets close to me enough to me, then I'll go and I'll shoot him.
He was just being like a good Boy Scout,
drag him off, cut him up, set him on fire.
He didn't have a lighter, did he?
I'm sure he was smoking a cigarette on his way
this
there.
This is misinformation you're spreading.
He had to have been smoking a cigarette. There's no way he wasn't smoking a cigarette on the way there.
Do they all? Was he a firefighter?
I would be. If I was going to go do all that, I might as well.
No, he's not. He told on himself when he got there. Such a stupid story. That's not even an attempted assassination. The fucking other side is retarded.
I think AmericaShirts hit on it about correct. Everybody needs to be impeached. Not just one side or the other. I'm talking all of it.
And replaced with more people who eventually just want the power for themselves. It's all about power. They need to be re-educated on what power is, and that's why it sucks that we cowered so bad during the thing we're not allowed to talk about for 2 years.
You take out all 563 members of Congress and you start all over again.
And those people are going to get where they're at and realize, well, I actually like this, and it's just it corrupts people. There should be
I'm just talking
limits.
about strategically with the president, and you can even do like Merrick Garland or whoever, and impeach these executive office officials, and specifically Biden, and bring it all up. This
So
is the
impeach him
midterm.
what? The 25th Amendment, or just for what?
Impeach him on taking down the U.S. energy supply on purpose. Now we hardly have any, and we're giving our reserves away to other countries. And then you have the baby formula shortage, and then you have food shortages.
That's the
and then
problem
you
with
have
impeaching Trump twice, is that it's like
the
it's
border
not.
opening, where all those millions and millions of people just pour in through like a tsunami wave all the time. Just constant criminality across the board. And you might not get him removed, but you at least put the talking points there, and you get it started. And then if they actually take back the House and the Senate in the next time around, if we get some good based people, if we get some really good populist Republican types in those positions, you might actually see an impeachment, like an actual
Yeah, but I
removal
don't
from
think
office.
any of those things that you mentioned are like rise to the bar of impeachment.
Well, yeah, they do. I mean, again, he's violating federal law with the border, and then you have to bring up the thing about U.S. energy, because everything runs off of gasoline. And if you are purposefully shutting down gasoline, and then it's like, oh, we're going green, and then there's nothing to replace it, you're just shutting everything down. Like, you're purposefully sabotaging the entire economy of the United States. What the hell is this? I mean, just bring it up and just get it out and push the narrative in that direction. The country, push the country's attention in that direction, and then perhaps whenever they do win the House or the Senate, the more populist Republican types, they can actually remove him and other people from office for doing this crap. I mean, we have to do something. Otherwise, they'll just keep running roughshod. And he's already, like I said, violated federal law. He's already, I mean, my God, like some of the, the announcements that he makes, like he's trying to use his executive agencies to take away Second Amendment rights and crap. I mean, like, these are impeachable, as far as I'm concerned. These are impeachable offenses. I mean, you just can't take an executive agency, bypass Congress, and be like, you know what, we're gonna make the Second Amendment kind of irrelevant. Like that, you can't do that.
Well, he can legislate from where he's at, but then the reason that they usually don't do that through executive order is because then the next guy does that through executive order, and it becomes a big fucking game, like impeachment has become.
Impeachment isn't the end all. It takes 67 votes in the Senate term.
Yeah,
well, right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you might not actually get him removed from office, but you could at least get an impeachment trial going and actually get all this stuff out of what he has done.
Do the same thing that you did to Trump. Are you going to go and impeach him?
Well, right.
Yeah, but Trump had a good
reason.
reason. He was doing a pretty quick, you know what I mean? The this for that with Ukraine. If in their estimation, based on that, so there was like a legitimate, even though I feel like it was wrong. But
level-headed, yes, we are still alive.
He said alive.
I know.
We're alive too. He's right.
Because we're talking about it.
Jonathan Turley knows a lot about the court, constitutional law professor, Fox News contributor. And sir, welcome to our coverage. I don't know how much you know at the moment, but maybe we could get an idea, maybe shed some light on the feelings of these U.S. Supreme Court justices and sort of how their lives have changed for them and their family members.
Well, this is quite chilling for everyone on the court and all those who believe
I'm
in
sure
the
they're
rule of
feeling
law. You
bubbly.
can't have justices and
Hammer, I'm
justices
sure they feel just
who
wonderful.
fear for their lives and the lives of their family. So it's
Stupid
a very
questions these
serious
people ask. Swear to
development. We
God.
don't know all of the facts. I just got back from a conference where I spoke with judges and lawyers about this concern. Many of the judges were very concerned about the increase in threats, the chances that they could be targeted, that their homes could be targeted. And so this is a very serious problem. It's not that these judges or justices are going to change their positions. These are people of great principle, but we owe it to them to make sure that they're safe. So,
Oh,
we've all
really?
been
They won't change
expecting.
their positions. It's the whole point of these protests is to make them change their positions. I mean, hell, they didn't follow through with, election fortification cases that were brought up. I mean, I ranted about that a
If
little
it
bit.
wasn't, they wouldn't come up with a reason why he was being there, being that it could possibly be Roe v. Wade stuff. So I mean, there's obviously a reason.
That these threats would continue, even increase this summer. Just yesterday, I testified on violent extremism in the Senate. And unfortunately, this is the type of fear that many of us were discussing in that hearing.
Oh, I didn't see RJ63's previous
There's a-
chat there. It says, well, he says, sounds like a Fed, prepared his pack, and then he says, Feds, just take the bag, don't worry what's in it. When you see the marshals, dial 911, we've got your back. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. Allegedly, in my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care.
So, anywho's.
It messed up.
Again?
Mm-hmm. Skip to the next video as opposed to just playing the rest of the video.
What are you eating?
Beef jerky.
With honey?
No.
Uh,
No. Maybe some popcorn.
Ooh, you could do like shredded beef jerky on popcorn, on top of popcorn.
You could, or you could just eat it.
The best thing is hot tamales and popcorn.
That sounds like fun.
It's so
I love
good.
hot tamales. Tamales are the best.
It changes the hot with the, if you do it a kettle corn, oh, it's so good.
I don't know. Whenever I eat hot tamales, it kind of tastes like cherry candies.
Mm.
They're not hot enough.
Well, I don't understand why people like hot food. It's miserable.
But then I hurt myself because I eat the whole box.
Oh, I hate it. You sweat. Your eye. You can't touch anything. Your eyes water. It's like it burns. It's not fun.
What?
Hot food.
I mean, but you have to mix it. It has to be flavor. It has to,
There's flavor without burning your tongue to like sear off the buds so that you don't have to taste what you're eating. I feel like that's what they're doing in Mexico. Many will be stunned if we ever find out who all in Washington and Gomorrah has been compromised. I like that.
Indeed.
Did you guys cover the tunnels underground in those preschools? Ever?
Those preschools?
The preschools in LA, the McNamara, I think, preschool. And like I think it was like the 90s. It could have been the 80s though. But they said that all these parents were kind of like reefer madness, but with their children, saying that they were blowing things out of proportion, that their kids were crazy because the kids were talking about how they see animal sacrifices and they see like just weird shit. I can't really remember what it was. And they did investigations and they're like, nope, nothing happened. It's fine. These kids nothing was happening to them. But the CIA vault released documents a couple years ago. It's probably been like 5 years ago. I don't know how long ago now. And it has the McNamara daycare and their drawings of where the tunnels were, where the entrances were, the light switches in the rooms, like how the system worked to alert people to be quiet because there was somebody there. The altars underground where they did sacrifices.
No, this is only to be friendly. It says it's the underground tunnels of McMartin's preschool.
Did I feel like daycare and preschool.
This is like 2002.
When it happened?
Mm-hmm.
That seems late.
Oh. Okay, so wait, something happened in 2002 that they actually posted this article.
Well, what's weird
In
is that the
1990, an archaeologist
Yeah.
was hired to determine whether tunnels existed under schools because of some children had alleged to. Oh, damn it.
They were
I
accused
just
of-
gave myself the freaking goosebumps because of thinking about some of this shit. I remember elementary school, the art class and the music class were down in the basement. And it would scare you because it was such a skinny, narrow tunnel that would lead down the stairs, and then you get into these rooms, and then there's other tunnels that would lead around the back where they would say they had, like, they would tell us kids not to go back there because that's where the maintenance guy keeps his stuff.
Mm-hmm. The bodies is his stuff. Yeah, that's creepy. You never know what it was used for. Maybe it was used to scare kids.
Well, I'm going to actually keep this.
But isn't that crazy that it turns out that those kids were not lying, that the moms weren't just having some mania about the movies and trying to make a big deal about shit? And the saddest part is that those men, there's like a couple men and a woman who ran that daycare and another daycare, or maybe several daycares, and they never got charged. So they were abusing kids, and the FBI knew about it because they had documented it, and it sat. Nothing happened. Well, I don't know. Nothing happened. I might be making that last part up, but I'm pretty sure last I knew that nothing had come of that.
It's all about how you search for things in Google as opposed to what you're searching. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit. So, publication date, fall of 2002. Abstract. The McMartin preschool child abuse case began in 1983 in Manhattan Beach, California, and is one of the most visible cases in history. Although 2 trials were conducted and no convictions were obtained, some individuals continue to believe that dozens of children were abused in certain ways at the preschool. In 1990, the archaeologist was hired to determine whether tunnels had existed under the school because some of the children had alleged that some of their abuse took place in tunnels under the building. The archaeologist's report was issued in 1993. It concluded that evidence of backfilled tunnels had been found. The critical analysis of the archaeologist's report concludes otherwise, that what the archaeologist found was actually a filled-in remains of a rural family's trash pit that predated construction of the school.
And I bet this article predates the Vault's release of the documents about it.
Sure.
So go to the FBI's vault.
Go to the FBI's vault.
Yeah, vault.fbi vault. I don't know what all the dots are, but it's the FBI's website, and it's a vault where they release documents after X amount of years. And they were released in the last, I want to say 5 years, but I guess it could be more. But it's still, this is 20 years ago that they put this article out. This is the narrative.
Vaults.org?
Probably Gov.
Gov?
It's got to be. It's their website.
Okay, we're going to have to do it.
It's wild because you can see the schematic. It talks about how the light switches were connected to like flash downstairs, how certain doors had locks and not door handles. It's fucking sad. Kids were getting tortured there just by sheer fact that they were confused and scared.
FBI.gov.
Okay, I knew it was something similar.
No, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that experiments were done.
Oh yeah,
on
it won't be the
children.
last. It's the sad part.
the MK Ultra pictures of the kids is so sad. I'm looking at the word McMartin, and I still want to say McNamara or whatever I was saying. McMartin. Got it. That's the problem. I only remember like 70% of stuff, and I'm like, I don't. I did pretty good on that one though. This is one of the ones I posted on my Insta, and people were like, "Too much. We don't care."
They're like, no, you can't see shit. Like, no results found for preschool tunnels. Nothing for McMartin schools.
Hold on. Let me look at my Insta and see if I can find out what they called it.
AmericaShirts you like?
Maybe.
Okay, let's do this. Share the.
RJ63, this evil sickness, which I cannot say the word on YouTube, is rampant all over the world and at all socioeconomic levels. Oh. And Divinity fell off.
Oh.
I'm guessing internet.
It could be an internet thing. So here's the FBI vault link. So when you go in here, and I grabbed the search site thing or whatever, maybe I should do that a little different, huh? Unexpected phenomenon, popular culture, organized crime, miscellaneous. Nothing that's has that particular word that I'm looking for. There she is. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back.
That's strange. I wonder if this is the same time it happened yesterday.
We're almost 3 hours into it. It may be. I don't remember how long we went last night. I think we went I don't think we went another hour, if I'm not mistaken. So, what I have pulled up is the FBI's vault.fbi.gov, so that we can actually maybe try seeing if we can't find something about it. So I'm like, well, maybe I need to go about this different. So I was looking through the categories. I don't see anything with that. With the SEX word, nothing to do with that. They're not going. So it's an unexplained phenomenon. I mean, miscellaneous, foreign counterintelligence, civil rights bureau personality, anti-war. I mean.
Up. She flew off again.
It's okay. She'll come back. She'll figure it out. Initiative. There she is in chat. It's frustrating. So I really don't know how to go about doing this on the FBI site. I've never actually looked at the FBI site. Never thought about looking at the FBI site. I don't know why. Lots of stuff.
Well, I hate to be a party pooper.
You're gonna be a party pooper?
But I do have to get up earlier than usual for the morrow.
My kid's gonna wake up tomorrow, so I feel you on that one. But at the same time, be that way. Okay, Divinity. Everybody should go make sure that they actually go check out Divinity's channel. Still, if I put it in she changed her website today, the URL.
Oh.
So it actually says Divinity said. So eventually it's going to actually populate for when you actually put in Divinity said, as opposed to put it in Divinity DUI guy. Yeah, your original number is going to still work. It's still going to bring it there, but eventually people are going to know it as Divinity said. You're going to hear more and more of this Divinity said thing. So I really think, people should be paying attention and help her get to that 1,000. She's almost there. Everybody should also go and visit AmericaShirtsFirst.com on AmericaShirts on his Rumble channel, because that's really where the good stuff is.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as you see it on the screen, capital A, capital S, all together, one word. You type it into Rumble, you will find it. And it will find you.
We should do another watch party and watch the 2,000 Mules again.
Ooh.
I'm forgetting some of it. I need to remember it.
Need some member berries.
Yes.
Remember?
We'll do a watch party one of these days again. Everybody is invited. That'd be fun. We could probably do it right in here. Make it easy without going live.
Right, like we did the last time. Mm-hmm. Allegedly.
So then you can support me by going to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. You can just support me, go follow me almost anywhere else.
If that is your real name. No, I'm just kidding.
Linktree/Koolfrogg. I think I have a PayPal link down below, so you can actually go there and you can actually show support there. If you do, leave a comment and text so that I know to actually go look at it. At least I'm sure I get an email. I might see it the next day. I don't see how some of these guys do their shows the way they do. They're very talented. I'll get there. But thanks everybody for showing up.
Yeah.
Dance our way out of here, huh?
Back to them, or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
Fuck Joe Biden.